The Weed Porn Daily podcast is brought to you by the Weed Porn Daily Head Shop. We've got socks, we've got wicks, we've got rolling papers, and we basically sell stuff that I use and that I want to provide to people at an affordable price. Usually I try to make it the most competitive price out there if I can get the product that, if it's available. Check out the wicks. They are, I would swear by it, but I'm sure there's some like Chinese
scam out there,
person or scammer or something, some crazy factory that's gonna outproduce me. But right now, I'm pretty sure that we are the most affordable hemp wicks in the world, hands down, and we ship internationally. So check it out, weedporndaily.com/shop. We also sell weed socks. They're great. I use them for personally for skateboarding or any sort of type of shoe motion that's going to be a lot of friction and movement. They're very, they're kind of like thin, but they also keep you warm. They're low friction. Just very great all-around socks. And of course, they got weed leaves on them. And they come in a variety of colors so that you can match them with all of your outfits. Check it out.
You can even mix and match.
Mix and match. You could even get mystery socks for cheaper. If you're just not interested necessarily in the color, you just want some weed socks on the cheap.
Or you can't pick.
Bam. Yeah, or you can't even decide. We'll decide for you. WeedPornDaily.com/shop. What is it? Save 10% with the coupon code POTCAST podcast. And just head over.
Be the first one to use the code.
Yeah, seriously, what's up? Number one.
We're at podcast number what?
We're also brought to you by 420 Goodie Box. Make sure to check them out. Great stoner subscription service. They offer basically ganja-related goodies delivered to your door every month. A random assortment of like head shop stuff. So you get like a box with like a pipe, rolling papers, like little munchies.
You don't have to be in a medical or legal state to get it.
Yeah, just as long as you're in the U.S., you're straight. We're also brought to you by VapeAdvance.com. Make sure to check them out. They basically sell e-cig solutions and oils and stuff like that. Little vape pen solutions. Get 20% off with coupon code something. Check it out on our website, WeedPornDaily.com. If you'd like to advertise with Weed Porn Daily, head over to WeedPornDaily.com/advertise, and you can see all of our packages. We are an advertising solution for a lot of cannabis companies. We offer, that classic web advertising where we have your image or text or whatever in the sidebar and in the main content area repeated many times, infinitely, even so on the Tumblr page. Or if you want to go the audio route, we offer audio, ads. And we also offer video ads as well on our YouTube channel. And even so, we offer sponsored posts for people who maybe aren't necessarily interested in hitting up the website and kind of utilizing that aspect of advertising where you put up an image and you kind of like, it's kind of like billboards. You throw them up and you hope somebody notices it and it becomes part of their environment, the website. But sponsored posts, it directs towards the user, boom, boom, bam. I want, bam, like 7 o'clock on Friday, I want this post to go out. I want things to move. And that's another aspect.
We launched this sale tonight.
Yeah.
And we can do that.
It moves some bodies immediately. It gets it right on the RSS feed. It doesn't necessarily require somebody to go to the website. It hits people on every social network. So make sure to check that out. WeedPornDaily.com/advertise. Or email us at contact@WeedPornDaily and I can send you a PDF of our advertising kit.
It's a beautiful little kit that you worked on. Very direct and very elaborated.
Gonna have to expand it soon. I have to actually add the video advertising realm. It's intense. But I hope you have your bowls packed. I hope you have Nugs in your jar, first of all. Or hash oil in your concentrate containers. And if that is so, I hope they've been picked apart or ground up, depending on your preference, if you want those terpenes and trichomes undisturbed, or if you just want a nice even burn. Depends. And I hope you got your bowls packed with that ganja, maybe topped with some hash oil, or just hash oil. If you roll like that, I know you're high class. I know you treat your lungs right. Yeah, it's all about that top shelf. Or maybe, hey, it's maybe not necessarily top shelf. You just don't want to consume carcinogenic plant matter.
Well, I was going to say, what was it? That fresh frozen?
Well, that's super high class. That's super top shelf stuff right there. Maybe you're running on some trim wax. I'm not judging. You gotta make do with what you got. Maybe wrap it around your blunts, your joints. Maybe put it into your vaporizers. Maybe drop it onto your e-nail with a ceramic add-in, so that you get a little more flavor, a little lower temp on that, and you can make it sizzle. Maybe you're smoking that Reclaim. Dude, I know how it is. Just reuse that oil, or maybe pop it into a brownie. I hope you've consumed that brownie 30 minutes before this, or maybe, just maybe, you've eaten those brownies with a little batch of mushrooms on the side, and maybe a tab of acid. I don't know where you're taking this night, but I like where it's heading. And
Can we start already?
Let's get this party started. Yeah, all right. Well, once we pop the tab, there's no going back.
Okay, but can we just go? We're in for a really long podcast today, guys. I'm just letting you know that it's going to be a long ass ride. I hope that you're listening to this on YouTube or something. Or not YouTube.
Why YouTube?
No, well, I was going to say iTunes, not YouTube. Well,
not even fuck iTunes. I actually had to
because
stop
you
using
can.
iTunes this
Oh,
week.
really?
Yeah, it doesn't even work with podcasts anymore. I've had to abandon it completely and go to Stitcher. It is
my goodness.
archaic. And I'm downloading apps for like podcasts specifically for ones that have huge archives, because Stitcher only goes back like the first 5 episodes.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a tumultuous week.
Well, I was gonna do YouTube because I always just do YouTube when I do Let's Plays. I'll pre-download them and I'll listen to them when I don't have internet available.
Well, that's what we're gonna start doing. We gotta start putting all of our podcasts on YouTube. It's gonna take a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Poor souls. But today's gonna be really, really long.
That's why we're hitting up some of this. I'm not sure what the strain is particularly. We just got it. I haven't had time to really sit on it and smoke it for a bit.
It's pretty nice.
From the initial impressions, it looks like Bubba Kush. It smells like spice. It tastes kind of earthy. What did it taste like to you, or did you not get a taste?
I got a little bit of spice. Very like anise. What is it? Anise? Anise? Yeah, anise. And like a 5-spice kind of star anise kind of flavor.
Very interesting. I'm not sure if it's indica dominant or sativa dominant yet. It's just like
it just doesn't make me it doesn't give me couch lock. Thank God.
That's good.
Yeah.
Anise. How do white people say it? What is it? The other pronunciation.
Anise?
I've heard like another one on
Anais?
Yeah.
Anais. That's like, I think that's like a name. I don't think that, because I think I knew a person named that. I don't know. No one quote me on this.
Anise.
Anise.
That's what they call it.
Well, that's weird. What anise? I guess.
Welcome to the Weed Porn Daily podcast. Not the oregano podcast, but the finely grown, nutrient-rich, organic, fresh frozen Weed Porn Daily podcast. I'm here with the lovely Mrs. Weed Porn Daily.
Good evening. It's rather late.
Yep, it's gonna get a lot later. Like how you see some shows and stuff with like light outside, and by the end of the show, it's so long, you can see the progression of time even in the show. That's how it's going to be here. Except darkness to like...
I'm so scared.
More darkness. But I'm here with Mrs. WeedPornDaily. You can follow her on Instagram, MRSWPD.
As well as Twitter, but Twitter's really just a filter for Instagram.
And make sure to follow WeedPornDaily, of course. WeedPornDaily.com. WeedPornDaily on YouTube, Twitter, basically everything but Instagram. Instagram is Ganja Grouch. Alright, let's jump right into the news. We got plenty of news to discuss here. Lots of stuff has happened since the last podcast. We've got the Colorado right up front, beginning new testing regulations, and then right in the end we're going to talk about Colorado also applying new policies and limitations to growers and caregivers. And we're seeing that strike actual charitable caregivers who grow CBD-rich medicine for seizure children.
Oh, I can't imagine that these kind of testings must really be, I guess, like, exhausting for these kind of people.
The testing?
Yeah.
There are only, we're going to talk about it, but there's only like a couple labs open, and then you have to pay for it and shit. It's just more money.
Horrible.
We're talking about Vancouver police raiding a dispensary for edibles and then releasing a statement about it because it endangered children, quote unquote. It was interesting because no other media outlet covered this that I could see, or maybe it's because I don't necessarily follow a lot of Canadian news outlets, so I want to cover that. And we're going to do a follow-up on the Jackie Chan article.
Oh, okay.
We got some news on that, some dishonorable news.
But this is the kid that cried and like broke down.
Yes.
What about him? These are previews.
We're gonna...
Oh, sorry.
See, you getting hyped. This is good. It's working. And what else was there? We're gonna cover a couple other things. We got things happening in Chicago, Illinois. Finally, the medical marijuana program getting moved around there. We've got.
Wait, is it only Chicago or Illinois?
Illinois, yeah. You would think it's only Chicago with the way that people report about it, but. And we've got Colorado, of course, leading the way in many forms of media. This time in advertising, with a company offering free cannabis to consumers to try their products. So, let's get on with it.
Giving somebody a gas card when they buy a car?
Kinda, yeah. Basically. Ganja card. If you want to follow along with this news, please go to news.weedporndaily.com. You can hit the news button up top. You can go to blog.weedporndaily.com/tag/ news, activism, crime, or the state that we're talking about, or there was another tag, activism, crime, and legalize space it. Yeah.
You mean legalize plus it?
You could do plus. I forgot plus. Damn, that would have been good today. I was actually coding, and I used a dash because Tumblr uses space, dash, and plus to represent like spaces.
I always do pluses. I think it's safest.
Really? I always do dashes because I think it's safest. And today I actually encountered a problem with PHP where it filtered the dash wrong. And I was like, fuck, and I put a space, and it filtered the space wrong because it was like, it's a space. So I literally had to do the ASCII %20 for space, and that worked. And plus probably would have worked, now that I think about it, and it would have been a more elegant solution.
I'm so sorry.
Less characters. But moving along. And also we also post the news in the podcast post. So if you go to podcast.weedporndaily.com and find the appropriate podcast post, you will find all the news articles we discuss
Linked.
and any other links appropriate to the podcast. So the first article up on the slice, testing of Colorado marijuana for contaminants to begin this year. From the Gazette, sometime in the coming months, recreational marijuana producers must begin testing for bacteria, fungus, heavy metals, and solvents before their products reach store shelves. 4 labs in Colorado will test for levels of E. coli, salmonella, and aspergillus, a fungus that can cause allergic reaction and lung infections. They'll also look for butane and other solvents used to refine marijuana into concentrated oils, as well as heavy metals such as arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury. Mercury. Yeah. Businesses that failed to meet purity benchmarks cannot sell anything from that batch. Fascinating. So if you got a nug that's a little moldy in, one batch, whole batch is gone. You never know how much of that mold is necessarily inside the rest of the plant. That's a really good policy, as much as it is going to be.
I mean, it's going to be such a hassle, but at the same time, it sounds really appealing to me.
That's how it should be. That's, if I grow you a tomato and it comes from a tree that has like
mold or something
at the root, I'm like, man, like this whole thing's got to go. I can't. Yeah. But opinions differ on how prevalent and how dangerous such substances are in marijuana, sold in Colorado's burgeoning pot industry. Alright, I said it a little weird, but I guess it works
The new
out.
requirements do not apply to pesticides, which aren't subject to across-the-board testing, nor is medical marijuana regulated for contaminants, and it's unclear when the testing mandate will take effect.
I don't think fruits are regulated for pesticides. I think that's like a consumer optional thing. Like you're like, oh, is this grown with pesticides or is this organic, or whatever, right?
Well, it depends on like what counties you are and stuff like that, what areas, and also like it depends on just like
But I feel like pesticides are like a thing that gets let by in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But they also let them by because you can wash it off.
Yeah.
Of like stuff, and you can't really do that with cannabis.
You can't do that with like fungus.
Or like herbs.
Herbs, yeah. Okay.
But moving along.
I remember this.
This was interesting. We're going to talk about 2 articles today that focus on the exportation of cannabis outside of Colorado, and how the recreational industry maybe, or not maybe the whole recreational industry, but how cannabis, it just really shows how global it is. How every single region needs cannabis, and this is just a place to get it. And maybe I was gonna swing it as like maybe it'll reduce recreational taxation once other places legalize, but this shows that it's like the illegal industry. I don't know. I'll get into it once I read it. Pot shop. 80% of our customers come from out of state. From the Cannabist, also aka the Denver Post. Ryan Grigo owns a recreational pot shop in southern Colorado, and he's putting out a bold, informed estimate saying that a decidedly clear majority of his customers are from outside of Colorado. 80% of my customers are coming from other states, predominantly Texas, New Mexico, Kansas, and Arizona, said Grigo, owner of Canasur in Pueblo West, which opened its doors in May for recreational marijuana sales. I knew there would be out-of-state customers coming in, but I thought it would be more of a 30-70 split, with 30% of my customers coming from out of state, but it's more severe than that on the flip-flop. Fascinating. So it's like the locals don't even want... what it really is that the locals have connections for weed, and they're better and they're cheaper. And the only people that are willing to pay these exorbitant prices that are happening right now because of, not enough growers out there, not enough saturation in the market. Things just haven't balanced out yet. This is still a burgeoning, bursting, blossoming, really to say, market. So this is a prime example of just people who are desperate. People who are already paying $20 a gram plus. And they're like, if I'm paying $20 a gram...
At least I can guarantee it's good.
I can guarantee it's good. They can tell me the strain name. They can tell me it's not going to have mold in it in some cases.
Or I can get a brownie made, or like I can get an ice cream, or I can get like an oil or a butter.
Guess what? I can get an edible, and then walk down the street and get another edible, and then walk down the street and get another, and it's like endless. Because as even though there's like a buying cap at each store, there's no database in Colorado, so you can just go to store, buy the cap there, buy the cap here, buy the cap there.
And wait, is it daily? Daily? That's a daily cap, right?
Well, it's just like you walk into the store and they see you and they remember you, and then you walk out, maybe come in a couple hours later, there's another attendant there, they don't remember you, maybe they're cool, you know what I'm saying?
Or just like literally you stay there for a week and you can just go there every single day. Yeah. And you can just do a cycle. Like, come on. It's not that hard.
Or if you live right across the border, I guess, in Texas and New Mexico and Kansas, you're just popping over. Damn. Arizona, though. Arizona has a decent medical marijuana program. They just opened up dispensaries. You would think that, they're not that
I have a friend that lives there. And his parents both. He doesn't smoke, but his both parents do. And he says that it's so horrible. Like, they hate it. They hate the weed that they get.
Interesting.
They're like, the dad needs it because he has like a certain kind of cancer or something. And he's like, I can't. It's just awful.
Tell that to the WeedEducated podcast.
Really?
They're in Arizona. They have a caregiver and everything. But the stuff that they describe, it's not necessarily crazy grade cannabis. And then they talk about them always going to California and Colorado sometimes and getting weed. So, speaking of Colorado and exporting its weed, or not necessarily exporting its weed, but the
weed is moving out
for exportation and
roll out.
That happening. By Sadie Gurman of the Associated Press. Report. More weed leaving Colorado by mail. More weed than what? Sorry.
Well, I think it's like by mail than by people taking it out of the state. Like, it's not just people doing it. It's like being sent through the mail. I don't know.
Interesting. Well, we're waiting for the page to reload here. Something accidentally clicked and it's snapping back. But the amount of Colorado marijuana seized en route to other states through the U.S. mail has more than quadrupled since 2010 and was destined for more states than before, according to a new report by a federally funded drug task force. Postal inspectors seized more than 493 pounds of pot from packages in 2013, up from 57 pounds in 2010. So in 3 years, it had a jump of more than quadruple. Yeah,
that's so scary.
That's fucking crazy. The year after medical marijuana dispensaries proliferated in Colorado, according to figures released this month by the Rocky Mountain High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area. In 2010, there were 15 packages bound for 10 states intercepted by inspectors, compared to the 207 parcels destined for 33 states in 2013. Crazy. 15 versus 207 in 3 years. Quite an escalation. The top destinations were, shout outs to these states, because they got that dank Colorado weed somewhere. You got it there. Florida, Maryland, and Illinois, the report states. They couldn't wait for that medical marijuana program in Illinois, man. They're like, just ship me some of that shit, man. But interesting. Very interesting to see. You can keep reading the article. It talks about more shit. They don't necessarily have numbers from UPS or FedEx because they're private companies and they don't release their numbers. So there's seizures going on that end. Or possibly not. They don't even know what they do with the weed, because they don't release official statements on what they do.
Well, they don't release official statements that they even intercepted weed.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like we do what we do with the weed.
We ship our packages and we return it to the correct authorities.
Yeah. That makes me curious how cool UPS is for shipping weed. Maybe that's what the P stands for. But from The Cannabist, the next article on our list. Some good news happening in Uruguay. First, they legalize marijuana, and they are the first country to do it. Bam, boom, bam. Now, they're the first country to do it, and they're going to have stores that sell it. And it's like government-grown weed. but they still don't allow you to grow it at home. And that's the problem. And that's the problem that a lot of stoners have with a lot of these legalization movements, is this stripping of growing laws, this complete disregard of freedom to have this plant ourselves and cultivate it and love it and share it. A lot of the culture of cannabis has been grown from, cutting of clones and growing cannabis and sharing our knowledge together and developing strains with each other and things like that, and taking that out of the people's hands and handing it to these huge companies who are in it just for profit and in it with huge bank accounts. Rather than just having it as any other plant and dispersing it among the people to develop, it's disheartening. So now Uruguay is making some baby steps here in that movement. Uruguayans can now sign up to grow their own at home. Very nice. By Leonardo Haberkorn of the Associated Press. People in Uruguay who want to grow their own marijuana at home were able to register to do so Wednesday as the government launched the latest phase in its first of its kind legalization program. Under a law that went into effect in May, citizens of Uruguay, or legal residents who are at least 18, can grow marijuana for personal use if they register. There is a limit of 6 female plants with an annual harvest of up to 480 grams. Fascinating. This is one of the first, if not the first, legislation that I've seen that actually puts a limit on the harvest that you cultivate.
Can you have hermaphroditic plants?
Yeah, that too. You can have hermaphroditic plants. You can have... Well, I wonder if they classify those as female. Maybe.
But no, they're hermaphrodites.
But yeah, they're both. So you could just grow a bunch of auto-flowering plants and be like outside of the rule. But
little gray zone.
Yeah. Well, the interesting one was the harvest one. Because usually what the people do is they write legislation and they'll say, you can have X amount of plants and then you can harvest, whatever you can possess. And the possession is X amount. And they already have like a possession of like 1 ounce or whatever in Uruguay. So it's interesting that they say like in a year, you're only going to be allowed to do this much. Because with weed, they can say, hey, you can grow 6 plants. And I'll be like, okay, I'll grow 6 giant trees outside that produce like pounds upon pounds every like couple of like months. Yeah. It's ridiculous what you can do. So it's interesting to see that limitation. They're really just trying to limit that exportation of like drug traffickers. It was interesting to see in the Vice doc that we saw on Uruguay, there was like a community of people who lived without electricity and shit. They were like those people, total hippies. They were like, we don't...
Oh, in that little seaside village?
Yes. And one of the things that they specifically said was they didn't want to be part of this thing. It's like a ledger that just has everybody who just grows. Yeah, they don't want to be part of this list, essentially, of people.
Like targets.
For the government. Or just really, why should I have to put my name down? Like, why? Let me put my name down for growing tomato plants. Or let me put my name down for growing basil outside. Like, why are we doing this? So they're one of those people that they grow cannabis illegally and they refuse to be part of these government programs. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays over. The next paragraph talked about how few people were there for the first day. So we'll see how the rollout continues. Moving along. Speaking of free weed. Did someone say free weed? What? Free weed? Denver clothing companies gift promo. Free weed with purchase. I can dig it. By Alida Labak. By The Cannabist. Now here's a way to grow a local following with just 3 simple words. Complimentary cannabis gift. New Denver clothing company Hemp House has come up with an intriguing promotion offering free eighths of weed to qualifying customers and spreading the word online. It's a savvy marketing ploy for a company that won't launch until December 2014. On their website, it says you have to enter your email address to learn more about how the promotion works. So are you a qualifying customer? If you live in the Denver metro area, that's a start. Basically, the company says it will deliver the free eighth in person along with the clothing order, and the recipient must present a valid ID to get the cannabis gift. We do not mail our complimentary cannabis gift, the website says. Excuse me. It wasn't disclosed what the minimum purchase amount would be to qualify for the gift. So very interesting. So if you're interested in maybe getting some free weed along with your clothing, and you were thinking about getting some hemp clothing, maybe something stylish. I don't know how their clothing looks. I haven't checked it out.
Click it.
But you can maybe get a free eighth. I'd be curious to test how little it was. Like, upon launch, each order in Colorado gets a complimentary cannabis gift.
It's featured on a lot of places.
Featured on the Daily Chronic, man. But I guess it's when the website launches. So you have to wait until December to get your free weed? I don't know how this works. But
sounds like I'm not getting my bang for my buck.
Scam. Sounds like a scam for cannabis. Sounds like a scam for recurring newsletter emails, really.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're interested, bookmark it and then set like an alarm date on your calendar so you don't forget about it, and be like, hey, free weed on December something, 2014. Moving along. I've been seeing this everywhere. Everyone's been talking about how the federal government has been increasing its growth of cannabis. And it's like, okay, like what? Like I feel like I literally heard that a couple months ago, and then I literally heard it again a couple months before that. You know, like the government increases its production of cannabis. Okay, you know, it's interesting. I mean, before it was a little interesting because the weed was for specific programs where they would produce like those big joint canisters to provide to people who are part of this like very
super
limited
secret service.
Secret Service stoner program.
Yeah, I remember seeing those like images.
Yep.
And just being like, these are super weird.
You know, they actually auction those. It's crazy.
Why do they auction them?
Because the joints are so sucky that the people don't actually want them. So the people who get them, they'll take the canisters and they donate them to people, and they say put this up for like auction somewhere, and you know, the
proceeds will go to
whatever. Yeah. And they did one recently. Say recently, and it was in the past couple, like 6 months or so. But TGA, Subcool on YouTube, like he got donated one and he auctioned it off. It was very interesting.
What was he raising money for?
I forget, but I remember like whatever it was, he was like, I'm buying it. So you guys can bid whatever you want, and I'm letting you know right now, I'm gonna top you. Like, it was pretty crazy.
That's a little intense.
I think that's what it was.
Like, was he challenging somebody?
No, I think he just wanted it, you know, and he was like, I want to be fair about it.
Interesting.
But the federal government, from HuffingtonPost.com by Matt Ferner. Feds are increasing their marijuana growth because of cannabinoid research. Interesting. The federal government is currently growing a lot more marijuana than it has in the past because it expects a higher demand for researchers for cannabidiol, or CBD, a non-psychoactive compound in marijuana that has shown tremendous promise for medical use.
Oh, I'm so scared.
NIDA, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, which oversees the cultivation, production, and distribution of research-grade marijuana on behalf of the U.S. government has made the initial request for more research-grade cannabis, told Huffington Post on Friday that the agency is growing marijuana with varying concentrations of CBD and THC. THC, whatever. You guys know about this. THC makes you high. CBD makes you
feel better,
cure cancer and shit. CBD, it's been known to actually extend the high and extend the duration, but also dull the high. And it's known to take away the psychoactive effects, the paranoia, the hallucinations, things like that, and make it more of a body-focused high. We are targeting concentrations that are low in CBD, equal concentrations 50-50 CBD THC, and high CBD, Naida explained. We will know the final THC CBD concentrations once the marijuana is harvested this fall and analyzed. The feds earlier this year received a massive increase in their marijuana production quota, more than 1,000 pounds from the originally planned 46 pounds to be used for medical marijuana, and the Drug Enforcement Administration ratified the increase in marijuana for research purposes just this week.
So crazy.
It's nice to see that finally some research is going down on the government level towards CBD, and possibly they will see with their own eyes, through their own evaluation, that CBD is beneficial and does have all the benefits that we've been showing through our own studies, not only anecdotal, but our own scientific studies that they deny. You can keep reading the article if you'd like. It talks about the benefits of CBD and shit, Charlotte's Web and whatnot. I swear to God, man, those guys from American Weed, the Colorado dudes, and that Charlotte's Web strain, they created like a monopoly.
Wait, isn't it like five brothers or something?
Five brothers, but I'm telling you right now, it's
like the bottom two.
Like masterminds going on right now, and they look like twins. And they.
I was gonna say, aren't they young?
As they like travel more and more, they look like more like who is it? Emperor Palpatine. How he progresses through the Star Wars movies, and you slowly see him slip into like a palish pallor with like crackled skin. They're starting to look like that. Like, they're just starting to, like...
No, you're kidding.
Yeah, I'm kidding a little bit. But they are, like, they're seeing the age of, like, traveling all around.
I was going to say they're really pale.
It's weighing on them a bit, I bet.
I'm sure the stress of court and shit.
But really, they are creating a monopoly out of CBD, and it's a little bit of bullshit. I mean, they are trying to let people know that, you know, it's not, like, the only CBD cure out there, but they still are kind of pulling some crazy strings out there. But moving along, don't want to talk shit about heroes. Medical marijuana applications posted for business. This was what we were talking about earlier, with Illinois finally making moves in the medical marijuana program. They are finally accepting applications. The official applications have been posted for aspiring medical marijuana businesses in Illinois. The applications and detailed instructions were posted Friday on the program's website. The application period opens September 8th and runs through September 22nd for a limited number of permits. Quite a tight little window there.
Oof.
For cultivation center applicants, only applications submitted to the Department of Agriculture by certified U.S. mail or in person will be accepted.
Oh, I'd deliver that shit.
In person, just get it in their hands. Applications to obtain medical marijuana must be hand delivered to the Department of Financial and Professional Regulation in Colorado, Chicago.
Wow, persons with last names A through L. Oh, sorry, my back hurts. Patients whose last names begin with A through L and their designated caregivers can submit applications from September 2nd through October 31st. Patients whose last names begin with M through Z and their caregivers can submit applications from November 1st through December 31st. What an interesting, like, segmented window.
Right.
You gotta be on it, be attentive, and mark your calendars.
Yeah. Know what your last name is. It's an important one.
Well, just like before those dates happen, make sure that all your paperwork is like all settled. Make sure that you have copies of all your stuff before you submit them. Things like that. Like once it's gone, you might not have any proof of it. You know, so it's like make sure that you have everything ready. Oh, is this this is our, what is it called? Our like celebrities section.
Drama corner. Yes.
Like our like. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's celebrity corner / drama corner /
gossip corner.
Gossip, basically. We need like theme songs like Hollywood Babylon.
We need like musical talent.
What's his name? Kaiko. From the Associated Press via High Times. Actor arrested with Jackie Chan's son released. Some updates on the drama progression from last podcast. I think it was last podcast. It's literally called Chang. What was it? Cheech and Chan. How could I forget? But basically, Jackie Chan was chilling with this other kid, and they were busted for weed. And the kid who was with them, Jackie Chan.
JC Chan, isn't his name like
JC Chan was busted for harboring a drug dealer and weed.
And like having weed on their person or something.
And then the kid, Taiwanese kid, was busted for just like weed.
For possession.
And he was in like a lower criminal court, and then JC Chan was actually in the like higher criminal court, the more serious one. It was very interesting. So now we're seeing the kid who was in the minor courts being released.
Didn't the kid he was shown on camera, like there was footage of him. You can
actually see the video on WeedPornDaily. If you look on the China tag, would probably be the fastest way to find it. Or Jackie Chan, actually. Jackie Chan has his own tag. Hell yeah, I did that. Is
it Jackie Chan, like Jackie? Like
Jackie plus Chan?
Yeah.
Or JC plus Chan. I tagged him too.
Oh my goodness.
Accurate. A Taiwanese actor arrested on drug charges, along with the son of Hong Kong film star Jackie Chan, was released Friday after 2 weeks in detention, amid a broad anti-drug crackdown in China's capital that has ensnared several celebrities.
Fascinating.
Yeah, this crackdown has been going on for a while now. They're trying to really enforce that they're being tough on all drugs, even the softer ones. So people who smoke marijuana are really getting persecuted right now. Kaiko emerged from a Beijing detention center before dawn into a scrum of reporters from mainland China, Hong Kong, and even Taiwan. Followed to his hotel by a press pack, a visibly agitated Ko challenged one reporter to a fight before retreating inside an elevator. Kai was considerably more composed at an afternoon news conference in which he appeared with his parents and agent and apologized for smoking marijuana. I was on the wrong on this issue. I made a mistake. There was no excuse for it. I was wrong, Kai said. I never realized that Kaiko is more than just a name for myself. It also means a lot to those who support and love me. Bullshit. Things I have to say.
He was 23 years old when arrested.
The Chinese government.
Little baby.
Yes. So, police found 100 grams at Chan's home. Chan, whose mother is a former Taiwanese actress. Information we don't care about. The arrest of Ko and Chan caused amid a major offensive against drug-related crime in Beijing that has seen a 53.2% rise in investigations in the city to more than 1,800 since January, according to the official Xinhua news agency. More than 8,400 suspects have been detained during that time, an increase of 78.7% over the same period last year, Xinhua said.
So we're cutting through. Sorry, we're cutting through the news. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, we're almost there. I'm seeing the light at the end of this tunnel. Alright, Vancouver. I'm so sorry, you guys. And we were just celebrating Mark Emery coming back I wonder what he's gonna have to say about this.
I'm sure you already read an article.
I'm sure. I haven't seen it yet. By Jeremiah Vandermeer. The Jeremiah? The Jeremiah? Jeremiah, man. This is Jeremiah from Pot TV, man. This is minor celebrity here, man. This is, and I'm I'm trying to remember her name.
You haven't even had any coffee.
What's her name? The girlfriend. You know what I'm talking about? They call her Mary Jane or something. It's like one of those names. Fuck. Come over here. Fuck. What did he call her? Potleaf. It's literally something like innocuous like that. It's fucking like acid stamp. Like it's something like that. Like I almost want to confirm this now. That's what his girlfriend's name is. I'm not kidding you. They call her something. Whatever. Jeremiah Vandermeer from Pot TV. This is from CannabisCulture.com. Vancouver police raid medical marijuana dispensary specializing in edibles.
Boo.
Boo. Yeah. Vancouver police raided another medical marijuana dispensary today, this time targeting Budzilla, a producer of medical cannabis edibles and concentrates. Just a month after the raid and eventual closure of Jim's Weed Lounge on Hastings Street, the VPD have set their sights on the Budzilla shop located at 2267 Kingsway Street in Vancouver. Police issued a press release describing the execution of a search warrant after several complaints were received. An initial investigation raised public safety concerns about how illegal business was operating, according to the statement. The products comprised of dry marijuana and THC-infused edibles, including candies and cookies. The appearance and packaging of many of these items could be potentially very appealing to children. Drugs were allegedly being sold to virtually anyone that walked in the door, regardless of whether or not they had a license from Health Canada to possess marijuana or not. Customers and staff inside the store were identified and released without charge, pending further investigation. The VPD will continue to respond to any complaints about illegal marijuana use and sales and take incremental steps to decide if further investigation or enforcement is required. Our priority remains focusing on violent drug traffickers who prey on youth and the marginalized in our community. I'm sorry, that statement was just so 1940s. I had a hard time spewing it out of my mouth because we don't have that vernacular anymore. It's like,
I'm sure that's like a staple line.
That's one of their stamps on stuff. Mission statements or whatnot. Over 40 medical marijuana dispensaries in the city of Vancouver remain in the operational gray area. Technically they are illegal, but police have, with a few exceptions, left them alone to continue business. People in Canada really need to get on that. Vancouver getting shaken up for the first time. Oh no, you can't just walk into stores and buy weed. What is this? It's not Colorado? Oh, I was just dreaming, eh? We'll see actually with Trudeau. I've been seeing Mark Emery really support him. He's saying he'll legalize cannabis when he goes into office and all that shit. So we'll see how progressive that lie really is. Colorado marijuana growers at odds over revised production rules. Now this has been something blowing up in the news, and this particular one comes to us by Kristen Wyatt of the Associated Press. Colorado marijuana growers have been fucking pissed. Right now, the situation in Colorado is Well, I guess, the reason I picked this article is because they do a good job of explaining it. I'll just read it. Colorado's pot regulators are trying to make sure the state's marijuana growers aren't producing more pot than they can legally sell. A hedge against Colorado-grown pot ending up in states where it's not legal. Something we were just talking about. How it's just like leaving that state. It just can't be helped. People want it. But a new set of marijuana production standards up for public review Tuesday sparked a lively debate and highlighted growing divisions between deep-pocketed industry veterans and people trying to get started in the legal weed business. The production rules are being revised because Colorado once limited pot growers to the number of medical marijuana patients they served. When the market opened to all adults over 21 in January, those production caps stayed in place as regulators feared a market flooded with more pot than they could regulate. But the result has been a pot market so limited that marijuana can nearly sell for $500 an ounce, far more expensive than black market prices. Those prices don't include taxes that can exceed 30% in some jurisdictions.
Oh, how sad.
That's how hardcore those taxes are, man. People are really arguing. That's one of the major arguments I've seen right now, and it was a really good argument. Why should we be paying taxes on cannabis? Obviously
is there taxes on alcohol?
Well, the reason that we have taxes on alcohol and we have taxes on cigarettes is because they're like quote unquote like societal tax. Like you drink, you drive, you cause damage to society. You drink, you fuck up your brain, and you're less smart, so you fuck up society. You drink,
or like you smoke and you're like making everybody sick because of your like
that
litter and your smoke and
or
everything.
You cause health insurance and like accrue all this like costs to the government, and all of this is like a personal choice that you're making, and you're accruing more cost on everyone else with that choice. So we're gonna tax you for it. Understandable. Cannabis, on the other hand, I'm literally smoking it, and I'm making everything better. Like, everything gets better in the world. Like, no one is harmed by it. No one is getting hurt. If anything, everything is getting better. And somehow, I'm getting taxed for this. Like, why is there a tax for this? Why is there some sort of leisure tax on this? This is not like some recreational thing that I just do. I'm not trying to, hey, I want to go climb this mountain, so I need to pay this particular permit for that, or pay like this. Like, this is literally, I just want to experience this plant. Like, I don't know. It was a Mark Emery argument. He made an excellent argument for it. Why are we paying for something that improves our lives, and if anything, improves society over time, makes everybody less violent, less, maybe cancerous in a lot of regards, improves your stress levels, anxiety, improves inflammation.
I feel like it's like basically like saying like it's like we don't pay taxes on like milk and eggs because it's a necessity. It's a part of our lives.
Anything, yeah, cannabis in a lot of ways for a lot of people is a necessity. So to charge them that kind of tax for a necessity is
horrendous.
Extreme. Smaller growers lined up to complain that the rule amounts to state-sanctioned protections for industry veterans. A major chafing point is a proposal to allow indoor warehouses to grow twice as many plants as greenhouses, 3,600 versus 1,800. Colorado medical pot growers were required to use energy-intense closed warehouses using grow lights. Now that the state allows greenhouses and even limited outdoor growing depending on local zoning, many argue that the state should be encouraging marijuana production that uses less energy. Large marijuana grow houses sometimes have 5-figure monthly power bills.
And not only that, but if you think about it, this is like Colorado. Colorado is very much into like, we have to protect our environment. You know, we have some very important national landmarks in our areas. And, you know, the whole Rocky Mountain range just runs right through our state, you know. I would imagine that, you know, being so energy conscious and stuff like that is like a big deal. Like people should be thinking about this most certainly.
Yep. You would think it would be just a no-brainer to take a plant that absorbs light and just put it outside.
Just leave it out there.
Just literally, like, leave it outside and let it get free light. But no, we would rather stress the entire infrastructure and raise energy costs for everyone by having these huge factories growing weed.
And what is it? We're not like sapping all the local
power
ground. No, all the local ground for like the, what is it called? All of its nutrients and stuff like that. We're not harming the environment. We're just like putting plants outside.
Yep.
Nothing big, nothing huge.
What was interesting about this regulation also limiting the number of plants is that it limits the number of number of people that a caregiver can serve. So we're seeing the problem happening now is there are a small group of Colorado caregivers that actually serve like 500 plus patients. You know, like everybody in the caregiver program serves like the minimum number of patients, like, you know, 1 to 5 or whatever. And then there's a small group of people that just serve a lot of patients. And they're all children with epilepsy. And all children who suffer from some sort of like Dravet syndrome or some sort of like seizure-inducing thing. So they grow CBD-rich cannabis plants on a massive scale. And with these new regulations, these people would come under target, and these people would have to scale down, and the children would really lose out on their medicine due to these regulations. And it's really like, it's one of those pointless regulations. You know, we're going to limit the number of plants that you can grow and the number of patients that you can take on, and everybody's following the rules except for these couple of people who are trying to really just do something extraordinary and really just trying to do something that should be allowed already, and they're doing whatever they can. I don't know, it's an interesting fight in Colorado. And this was a really disheartening article. I don't want to linger on it too much. There's nothing really to harp on, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot to harp on, but from the Dispatch, the Columbia Dispatch, by Holly Zachariah. Asheville man kills self during pot farm raid.
I think that's pretty self-explanatory as is.
Yeah, just a man had a 2-hour standoff with authorities in the woods and then shot himself. It was interesting. I forget where I saw it. I think it was in the comment section. Was it in the comment section? Yeah, it was in the comment section. Someone commented and they were like, you know, I knew this family of people who own like a record store, and they were so nice, and one day they were caught growing weed and they killed themselves. And, you know, I'll never forget that day. And it really, like, it put into that perspective where, you know, we have people who are literally innocent botanists, these tender gardeners who bring life into this world and really are gentle enough to grow the ganja and care for it and cultivate it. And these people, because of the fear of taking their freedom away, the fear of losing years of their life, being put in like a cage and being like told that they were wrong when they know that they were right. Like they chose that they would rather end their lives and like take away their beautiful essence from, you know, their richness from this world. You know, it's an intense decision, and it's sad that it has to happen over just a plant. You know, like that these people have to be martyrs for marijuana. And this shouldn't happen. But just moving right along, because we're
Wait,
on
is this
the
the last
end
one?
of the train. We've reached the
What time
last
are we at?
cab in the track. We're about an hour in. We're currently passing Toledo. If you look to your left, you can see some nice wooded areas, some tender wildlife token up. By John Murray of the Denver Post, Denver seeks ban on solvent-based hash oil extraction at home. Denver city officials are moving to ban the amateur use of a risky hash oil extraction process that has resulted this year in dozens of home explosions statewide. A new proposal backed by Mayor Michael Hancock's administration would ban the home use of solvent-based hash oil extraction. It involves highly flammable compressed gases, typically butane, in the extraction of oil from marijuana. An additional risk is that some users stock up on those gases in their homes. Licensed grow houses and other businesses would still be able to use the gas-based process, given that they take the myriad of precautions required by state law. Denver's restrictions, among the first in the state, would limit those seeking to extract hash oil without a license to use safer water and food-based methods, or they could just buy the hash oil at a dispensary. Clearly, the hash oil extraction process creates a danger in our neighborhoods, Hancock said. We want to address it quickly. The Council's Safety and Well-Being Committee will consider the proposal September 16th.
Wait, sorry, I wasn't paying attention exactly. So is this basically in addition to the new regulations that they're coming out about, like, passing the fungus tests and passing, like,
I'm sure this is all separate.
Well, yeah, like I'm
happening in separate fields. Like, it's
Wait,
not
what?
all one giant bill that they're tacking onto.
No, I'm saying, like, this is gonna happen in place of only in Denver, or is this going to be, like, in addition to an already Colorado law? Was, like, that other law only for Colorado as a whole? You know what I'm talking about?
What other law? The testing of
The testing thing. Where is that
hash oil.
taking place?
Well, that's Colorado.
Oh, that's Colorado as, like, a whole.
Well, it doesn't matter because, like, it's just like you could test it, the end product, but somebody has to make it. So now they're not only bugging you about the end product, but they're bugging you about making it too now. Not only is it hard to make hash oil, like, right, and, you know, difficult maybe to put together, like, a proper extractor and really expensive to buy one. You know, you're spending thousands of dollars on equipment and investing it to get, like, a proper setup. But it's just a huge amount of money, and then you have to go through it. It's just like when you start, like, a food business. You're like, fuck, it's really not that easy to bake cupcakes? You mean I have to buy all these special cleaners and wear gloves all the time and, like, follow these very specific guidelines? It's just, like, putting more of those, like, loops in front of this system. You know, and I have a hard time, like, fighting it, because I've seen a lot of stupid-ass people make extractions at home and do it inside of a room and then put a fan up and open a window and tell me that it's okay. Or put it inside their oven and say, like, nah, bro, it's cool because the heat, like, makes it, like, evaporate immediately or something. Like, so many stupid, I've heard so many, like, like, personally, I've heard, friends of friends of friends be like, yeah, I had this buddy of mine run this in this particular way, and I'm like, you know, like, every single thing he did was wrong. You know, and every step of the way, like, I'm walking him through it, and it's denial the whole way. So, you know, even if you disseminate the knowledge out there, there are a lot of people that just will not listen and will set these houses on fire and will just jump into this dangerous pool here. So maybe if there's a law in place that says, hey, you get a ticket if you do this inside your house, maybe that's not so bad.
It'll deter the weak ones.
I don't know, yeah, seriously. And it'll leave the people who want to get involved in the real business alone. Maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But 30 explosions in a year, honestly, isn't that bad. But then again, in Denver alone, it's a pretty small city, I assume. So I guess that's kind of
It's a pretty small city, and then you think about it, an explosion, meaning it like probably took out like a whole room in a house or something.
A room, yeah, and blew out like a wall.
Yeah.
Or something, you know?
You know, like it messes with the structural integrity of a building, and then it's like 13 years, so we have 12 months. So at least like 2 months every 2 weeks, basically. Like, could you imagine? Like, you're in the fire department, and you're like, man, it's almost 2 weeks already. We're going to get another call soon about another explosion kind of thing, you know? I mean, that's not how it works in the real world at all, but it's like that kind of idea. Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where these sort of regulations go. It's really just an example of how up in the air the whole situation is with cannabis. Nobody knows necessarily how to regulate it. And it's not necessarily that we don't know how to regulate it, because if you talk to the experts, they will tell you how to regulate it. And it's really kind of just when you talk to any sort of expert on any sort of situation, it's this rosy-tinted, perfect utopian world that can't necessarily be executed. You know, we need things to work in the real world. We need things, you know, not everybody supports it. We need to have bills that also bend towards the will of non-cannabis supporters and the fear mongers and the people who think of quote unquote the children. So this is just another example of that, and hopefully this will iron itself out and we'll get some proper regulations on extraction. And hopefully over time we'll get some really efficient standards set in place for the whole thing, and someone releases some like crazy simple butane extractor, and these fucking like chumps can just buy it from Amazon and not explode their houses anymore. You know, it'll be nice. So now, once we've closed this chapter on the news, the wonderful thing that is the world of weed on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, and now we open the chapter of WeedPornDaily here. Are we ready? Alright guys, we're back. We had a little intermission. Interlude.
We needed a snack.
Intertoke. Yeah. So we're gonna get into
the personal side of the podcast.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Did you close the window by mistake or
yeah. Yes, maybe.
Yeah, I think you did.
So basically, I've been revamping the whole website. You're gonna see a completely new theme go up in the next couple days, and
you guys, it looks incredible.
Yeah, and hopefully it's more responsive, more user friendly, more engaging to the user in a lot of ways. Just more fun to use all around, and it'll look more professional.
It looks more high-end.
Yeah.
It looks like a team of people worked on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like a team of people worked on it with how much work I've been putting into it. But we're rolling that out. What else have we done? And just the last couple of days have literally just been pumping hours into the website and handling orders from the shop. Yeah. It was a really nice order internationally, where they ordered 20 mystery socks. It was pretty crazy. It was
that was like so intense.
Mm-hmm. It was a crazy amount of socks. I don't think we've ever shipped that many at once. I had to get a custom box.
Was it Canadian? It was Canadian.
Canadian-y. Canada. Representing. That was pretty cool. So they got plenty of socks. Yeah, I think that's about it. We recently went to Walt Disney World again.
Is it really all of our WPD personal
news? I guess. I've been working on the Disney video, recapping everything that we've done. I edited it down. We had so much footage that after editing it was an hour, plus, and then now I'm working on cutting that down to like 15, 20 minutes maybe. Like I'm really trying to chop it.
You can probably do down to 40. 40 sounds good.
40 maybe. We'll see. I just wanted to not be boring and keep flowing. Like have no like.
I guess.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see which way I take it. But I basically got home and played catch up.
Oh yeah.
And it was just me handling orders and handling, cause we had a sale right before we went to Disney. A, back to school-esque, 20% off everything in the shop if you spend more than $10 sale. That was a lot. You were just looking at the coupon code earlier and you laughed. It was Degrassi. Yeah.
Grassy.
Degrassi, eh? Just wanted to represent. The sale went really fucking well. I was amazed. You know, usually we have sales and the orders boost up a little bit. You know, we get a couple more orders than we usually would. Some returning customers come back and they take advantage of the savings and stuff. But this time, I don't know what it was. I guess it was the 20%. It was like the most percentage that we've ever given off before. And people really took advantage of it, and they bought a lot that weekend. It was crazy. Pretty crazy.
It was really nice. It felt really good. And you got to use your PayPal card. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we had a good Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, we mentioned in the last podcast how we were planning to go to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. We mentioned in an earlier podcast that we would never go back to Disney again, and that we were planning on buckling down. And
we're so weak. Guess we're gonna go in the winter.
We're so weak. But we went back, and we went basically for like 2 nights, 3 days.
Barely a third day.
Barely a third day. And yeah, had a fucking amazing time. I'm gonna pull up a slideshow. These photos, a distilled version of them, because obviously I'm not gonna post like every single photo, and some didn't come out as good, and some are just personal. But you can find basically 50% of these photos on my Flickr. So if you want to,
50%.
About 50%. I was pretty good on editing. No, I'm also pretty egotistical.
I was gonna say pretty good on editing, or you just like a lot of your own photos.
Yeah, exactly. But go to flickr.com/ganjagrouch if you want to kind of follow along with our journey. I kind of posted them in order, and I will hopefully by the time I post the podcast have the rest of the photos up. I've only posted Sunday, and then I gotta post the actual party day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Exciting. Okay, cool. So, we pulled up around mid-afternoon, probably at like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So this is like us entering the art and animation. We've never stayed there before.
Yeah, the art of animation resort, it was like a first time for us. Because we'd stayed at the Pop Century Resort before, and we've wistfully looked at the Art of Animation and said, you know, maybe we'll stay there if we're big ballers, and we can afford to rent out like a whole family suite to ourselves and shit.
Yeah, but we also had only looked at one section of the hotel. When we were staying at the Pop Century, we kind of just like wandered over and checked out the Finding Nemo area, but we actually hadn't like actually explored in depth what it was. And we hadn't seen the hotel from the front either. So we were like, let's check that out, because we had been doing all that extra research about what is it called? The golden years?
Yeah.
Of the Pop Century, and you know.
Basically, the Art of Animation Resort was supposed to be an extension of the Pop Century Resort.
Think about it. It's a Pop Century. Century's 100 years. So, you know. And
the Pop Century only covers 1950s or 60s. I think it's the 60s to the 90s or to 2000s or something.
Yes.
But like the Art of Animation was supposed to cover the hundreds, or the 1910s to 1950s or something like that. It was going to be a very awkward era, to say the least. So this was Disney's reaction to that and their revamp of that situation and them taking control of that. It was interesting to see the way they handled it. Like the whole time we were staying there, we were curious like which buildings were original buildings and which buildings were knocked down. We were like, is this one haunted? Is this one haunted?
Well, see, like we had seen the footage, and the footage, all of them looked like how the Pop Century is, where the entrance of the hotel rooms are on the exterior of the building. But at the same time, though, the ones we stayed at were like that. We stayed in the Little Mermaid section. Yeah,
I was really psyched because when we'd walk through on our previous visit, just walking through the resort, we noticed that all of the hotel rooms were in like closed buildings.
Which is not like how it is at all the like value resorts that we have stayed at. Because we had stayed at the All Stars Music and we stayed at the we stayed at the All Stars Sports and All Stars Movies.
Yeah, and both of those, you go to your hotel room, and if you're on the bottom floor, you're right out there next to the woods, and you see like a bunny right when you walk out of your front door. You see like birds and shit, foliage. But for them, they can't walk out directly from their room. You actually have to walk out like it's like a real hotel. You walk out into the hallway, you go out, and you leave like the complex. Yeah, and you can actually walk out. So we were I was psyched to experience that. It was like another side of Disney, something different about the experience. And surprisingly, our rooms were the same as everywhere else. It was...
Well, I thought they were...
Well, not the same as everywhere else, but the building, style was the same as everywhere else.
Yeah, we were surprised. And then I was like, oh my god, we're in the ones that were leftovers.
Yeah, right.
That they specified, like, hey, don't knock those down.
Yeah. We got some use for those. We had the structural
integrity of...
of the 1910s.
Well, no, of... What is it? Like, early 2000s. This happened in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is being dorks, Kristen.
So Sunday, we're rolling up.
And the parking lot was horrible.
It was unreal. I didn't believe that Disney had designed something like that. It was like the Mall of America or some shit.
It was horrible. Like, every time we go to like the All-Star movies and stuff like that, we always find parking. I guarantee you, like as close as possible to the door. 98% of the time we always get a parking spot right by the front door, and it's just because like they filter people really quickly, and there's always parking in front. We always end up going like on weekdays and stuff, and it's perfect, even Sundays. And here was not the case. It was boiling hot outside. It was probably like 102 or something. It was horrible. The humidity was terrible. So we had, like an umbrella and, wore hats and everything. And, but we were quite a distance away from the front door in their designated area because I guess a lot of people were coming in. I have no idea.
The parking lot was just stacked, and even we saw cast members parking in like that parking lot.
Which was very interesting, yes. We saw some.
But, yeah, it was just, really swamped, that parking lot. And when we even got to the room, like when we were parking to, grab our bags and finally actually settle into the room, we got a room, or parking kind of close to the room, but even then it was still like, it was pretty swamped on that side.
Like, you have to think about it, the way that they made this really organic looking parking lot, which was fucking stupid to me. Like we were at a part where like the actual size of the parking lot was smaller in comparison, where they kind of like bubble out and stuff and become wavy. So we were at a short distance.
Pinch point.
We were at a pinch point, and the pinch point, we were the furthest away in the pinch point, so it seemed a shorter walk in comparison, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just...
It was pretty, it was
pretty
terrible.
bad.
But we finally parked, rolled up. You can see some selfies of us just initially walking out of the car. Yeah, and they're on Flickr. What? Those are up. Those are
pictures of us. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Those are out there.
So we rolled up. There was a little bit of a line to get in. It was really full. There was a lot of people, And
yeah, I was surprised how many people were just chilling out in the check-in lobby area.
And what surprised me more than anything was that, like All Stars, like movies and stuff like that, they always have people on iPads everywhere, walking down the lines, trying to knock through as many as they can, while the ones that they're trying so hard there.
Yeah, they're really trying to manage the people, get them through as fast as possible. Hey, do you need anything? You know, is it something that I can do with this iPad really quickly? Yes? Why don't you come over here out of line and then let the people, you know, other people sit in line who have to sit in line. And boom, boom, bam, you need to check in, I got you checked in. Boom, boom, bam, you need to check out, I got you checked out, you can go. Like, they check you out within seconds with those iPads. And they had nothing here. So we had to sit in line for a while, and it was more of the art of animation experience, I suppose, where normally the check-in lobby, they'll have just one huge desk, and everybody's just standing behind it like Jesus, or like just like judges, or I don't know. It's some
authoritative like
figure, yeah. And you walk up, and you have to they summon you over rather, and then you walk over. But here they try to... No, not at all. But that's the picture they try to paint, and when they give you this experience, and it's...
be more friendly.
Every desk is like a bubble. Like every check-in thing has a different desk. And the person will actually come around from the desk, meet you at the front of the line, and then walk you over to their like pod thing. So I suppose maybe that's why.
Or to like waste my time like having you walk all the way there, pick me up, and walk me all the way to your table. Yeah. Especially like us, we got like one of the ones right at the entrance of
the it's line. Like you might as well have just called me over.
I literally would have cost me 2 steps, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, you're not making any like sound, what is it called? Sound pollution or anything. It's just literally... You could just even gesture at me, because I was probably looking at everybody who was like working, you know.
But basically, we checked in finally, and we couldn't check in. You know, we roll up after that long wait, and she's like, "Yeah,
the rooms are not ready yet.
The room isn't ready. You gotta wait. Do you want to be you know? Do you want to be called? What was it? What are the other options?
I think the other one was like called.
I think has to be. Yeah. But we opted for the text option. And we were like, yeah, let's take advantage of this time to maybe stroll around the Art of Animation gift shop, the lobby area.
And mind you, we basically stayed within like close proximity of like the check-in area.
Yeah, we didn't. She actually
far.
asked us, you know, do you guys want to go to the park while you guys wait for your room?
And we were like, no, we're just gonna stay here.
Like that's a common thing apparently people do. But no, we just rolled into the gift shop, and you can see some of the pictures of that. Just Halloween merch that I rolled. Like immediately, you walk in, and not immediately, but it depends on which side you walk in on. But basically, the walkway is paved with Halloween shit.
You can see the pins. Oh, and I was so relieved to see that they had the Duffy pin, the Halloween Duffy pin.
Yeah, we actually were looking.
I have a friend that works there, and I told him like, oh, I had seen it in a video at Epcot, and I didn't know if it was maybe a specific to Epcot pin. Mm-hmm. And he told me that they were sold out when they first came out, so I was really scared. But apparently they're more now available.
But yeah, you could see a close up of one of the Halloween pins. It's like a flaming Mickey pumpkin head. Very nice. Very cool. But we didn't spend too long there. We just kind of, drifted over the merch. Yeah, and we went right over to the landscape of flavors, the quick service dining area in the Art of Animation Resort. It is a stunning experience. We've actually eaten there before when we stayed at the Pop Century, because it's so fucking good. Yeah, you cross the bridge and you just eat there, and it is.
They advertise it in the Pop Century to go eat over there.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, you're in the elevator and they have like ads for like, hey, go check out this other food court.
Not in our hotel.
It's so much better. But it's really it's
great.
It's got like a modern design to it with a lot of swirls and curves and things, and they utilize these beautiful what do you call them, like lamps or
they have a lot of recessed lighting, and they have a lot of like hidden lighting that kind of illuminates the silhouettes of the different organic shapes they build into like the ceilings and in the walls and stuff like that.
And then they create a contrast with the very blocky, almost pixelated floor. You know, the kind of like drawing, and then when they take it to the cell or the pixel or the computer. A lot of the story, quote unquote, that Disney likes to put into their design. It's very nice.
Like some artsy photography.
Yeah, I took some black and whites of the swirls. Had to.
Your horizontals are crooked.
We were just walking. Like, we were so hungry, we were just like speed walking through. I didn't even.
Your grid turned on?
No.
You should have your grid turned on.
Why would I have my grid turned on my viewfinder? There's no such thing. I'm not. What is this? I'm not using an iPhone. I'm using a DSLR, baby.
I thought you could have a grid when you're using it.
Not in the viewfinder.
Literally, in my film camera, I can do that.
I don't know. Maybe. But I don't do that shit. I'm just rolling. I'm taking shots. Whatever. I'm just trying to get to the food as fast as possible because we were sitting in a car for like 4 to 5 hours.
We were so hungry.
I was starved. And I smoked a joint in the car, so I was ready to munch out. No, I just...
we both got something from the Mongolian section.
We love the Mongolian section. That's where we ate before, and we were like, it's an easy, quick fix. Let me just get this. I know it's safe. And it's something that's kind of different that you wouldn't necessarily get in other parts of the park. Like, you can get the pizza anywhere, you can get the burgers anywhere, but the Mongolian shit, I don't know where you can necessarily get this. I'm sure somewhere specific, maybe like a Moroccan restaurant or some shit, but
it was really nice because we basically got all the options, like, in our 2 respective plates. Like, he got the chicken, and he had, like, the boiled potatoes, he had the plain basmati rice, and he had the naan bread with the pumpkin. And then I had the fish with the curry tofu kale, with, naan bread and the, like, whole grain rice, or whatever. And the whole grain rice has, like, little veggies in it. And, it was delicious. It was excellent kale, excellent tofu.
Yeah, mine was excellent. The chicken was interesting because before, I wish I had a picture of last year's, not last time rather. But the chicken was different. The chicken, I don't know if you remember, because I think you had it as well. Bone? Yeah, it was on the bone, and it was a lot bigger of a portion. And this time they give it to you like, I don't know, almost like what is it, like when you get it in a frozen bag at the store and shit, kind of like that. I don't know. It was a little cheap on that end.
But we got
I was a little
fresh
disappointed.
Bread.
But yep, can't complain. The bread was hot and fresh. The guy actually he offered, like, he showed us the stale bread, or not stale bread, but the bread that was sitting there for a little while, and he was like, "Would you like this piece or wait for the fresh bread?" And we said fresh bread, and he actually threw out the other one. I was like,
good.
Nice.
Good quality control. Good decision on his part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have some, like, mural photography kind of
Yeah, I
stuff.
took a photo of just the murals around there. You can see just the detail of how much, I don't know, like not the style that goes into it. Maybe you can kind of tell from the macro shot. Yeah.
So we went back to the gift shop and we did a more thorough investigation of the gift shop.
Yeah, just really nice. Going over, looking at their products. They had some of the soaps that they give you for free in the hotel. They give you bigger versions there. And we actually have never seen this in our Value Resort.
No, I've seen it there in the
gift shops.
Resort.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
It had it in the All-Star Movies for sure. They had all of these.
Yeah? Okay. I've never seen it.
And then they had a alternate version of those bottles. Those were not available in those bottles. They were available in another bottle.
So we walked around. We checked out all the merch in depth. Halloween stuff.
Some Cars
signages. Yeah, there was Cars merch there because there was a Cars section. There was a lot of Cars merch. Now that I look back on it, I was surprised because I'm amazed that franchise does so well. Like, I saw Cars 2 come out, and I was like, wow, that did well enough to merit that. And then they did Planes, and I was like, wow, like, that whole series is, like, so well that they can do an offshoot. Like, this is, like, the fucking, what is it, Family Guy, and
But then it also has like its own TV show, I think, as an offshoot as well.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. We found some Duffy Vinylmations. We just checked out the gift shop. I want to scroll through this. Lots of pictures of pins, because there's so many different pins. Basically, the reason we were so interested in the gift shop is a new season of merchandise had rolled through. So we were really intrigued in digging into the all the new products, seeing what was new.
Yeah. So this had already been like 40 minutes or something. It already been like an hour.
You know, ordering food, it didn't take too long. You know, it wasn't that long or even paying or anything. Or it was just really paying or getting the food and then eating like 40 minutes. So we were like, hey, still haven't gotten that text.
But we went out anyways to the Cars Land area.
Well, we went to the... I guess, yeah, we just popped into the arcade to use the restroom real quick.
Yeah, we just checked out the arcade. Okay. The arcade wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, and then we checked out the Cars area, which we hadn't actually seen before.
We had seen some video stuff.
Yeah, video footage, and seeing it in person, it's like the same thing, basically. Just a bunch of cars on, like, gravel. Actually, that's the one thing the videos can't really convey, is the fucking gravel, man. They put this, like, these little pebble shits in. No, that was fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. But, like, when you walk down the pathways, they have, gravel lining it, and it comes into the pathway. And, it's just, like, really irritating, just having these little pebbles everywhere. It's supposed to, I guess, like, you mentioned it. It's, like that Arizona,
Nevada desert kind of stuff.
Shit. It's something that I never have seen personally, so I can't
it's an aesthetic,
put my
and
finger
it's a
on.
Part of it's a part of the United States that people
relate
associate
to.
with.
Yeah.
So you being goofy.
Anyway, took some. I tried more this time to take goofy shots with the sculptures or the characters or whatever you would call them. I saw the sheriff, and I just had to do something with him. I just didn't know what, Took a picture of Tomater.
Man, this conveys so well in, like, the photograph, doesn't it? Like, if the people weren't there, I would say that looks like a 3D, like thing. Like, that wasn't, like, an actual...
Yeah, it's pretty...
It's so painted.
It's so fucking... Yeah, well painted and well sculpted that it looks... like they basically 3D printed it out of the model that Pixar gave them. It is very intense.
The quality of this resort is astounding.
Definitely. We tried to really look at the minor details on all the cars, because there were just so many things to look at. The bumper stickers, the rust on Tomater was really fascinating to look at in person, because you really got a nice impression of just how much paintwork went into that, into creating a kind of realistic rust, but also still that cartoonish look. It was a beautiful, beautiful execution. So we went through the Cars area, lots of Cars pictures, the Cars postcards.
A lot of great typography.
Yeah.
A lot of great design and graphic design going on throughout the resort. It's really nice. It's a great aesthetic.
Little touches everywhere that really, not necessarily put you into the world, but like just show you how much effort they put in.
Like, they show the little cards, what is it called? The postcards. And then one of the really nice things is it's supposed to look like they're sitting for sale. And then if you look behind them, you can see that the reverse of the postcards, each postcard has a reverse with like a little story, and you can actually read the story from your side if you like just pay attention enough. It's crazy, those nice minor details.
The in-depth, all the story they try to put into it, really...
And the puns.
Really the polish they put on everything, it does not go without impression. So we popped back after the Cars area. We were like, whatever, Cars, yeah, we're done. Still no text from the check-in lady, and we just sat in the arcade for a little bit. I took a stroll around it. I tried to see if there were any games that we would necessarily be interested in. Nothing really, man. Nothing really, like I'm more into those old school, I'm really just into fighters. I'd be down if they just threw in like a Marvel vs. Capcom Tekken,
better, like, driving games?
something, or a better driving game. Yeah, I'm always down for an awesome simulation.
Or like a good shooter, but you know what it is? It's Disney.
Yeah, everything has to be really kosher. So they have like the fucking Spider Step game. They have a Skylanders clone. If you're lucky, they have Jetpack Joyride. We didn't have it here necessarily. Yeah, Fruit Ninja, that kind of shit.
They even had like Frogger, and it was like a weird Frogger.
Yeah, they had Frogger, and what was it? They had a classic one, and I think it was Pac-Man or one of those classics. But that was the only like decent game that they had that I would be interested in, really. Or ski hockey.
So we went to the lobby area.
Yeah, we got tired of waiting after another, I think, basically 20 minutes of sitting in the arcade area. And we walked around for like 20 or 30 minutes.
And we were just so tired.
And when we were eating, we had noticed that it had begun to rain, no? It like, the sky was gray when we were walking in, and it just poured, like, immediately.
When we were eating, when we sat down, because we saw everybody filtering inside.
It was pretty intense. And when we walked out to the cars area, everything settled down, luckily, and there was no rain. But it was still just soaked.
But we went to the lobby.
Yes.
And it was super full now. Remember how there was an increase in the amount of people that had arrived? And so we were like, man, we gotta, like, what line do we wait in? And there were people with iPads, but I was like waiting in line for the people with the iPads. And it was just so hard. But we ended up getting somebody, and apparently I had service the whole time. And they had sent the text like an hour before. An hour before. I remember he's like, it was sent at 3:20, and I'm like, okay, I didn't get it. You know, but he settled us in. He sent us our room number. We fixed our magic bands.
We parked into that pinch of a parking lot and unloaded all of our shit in 2 goes. And we got to really experience the Little Mermaid section of the resort. It was really nice. There was a lot of really just unique touches to the room that you don't necessarily get in the Valley resorts or the other Valley resorts.
A lot more artwork.
Yeah. It was nice because you stay at like the All-Star Movies or the All-Star Sports, and you maybe get like a poster, if you're lucky, of like the Mighty Ducks or something, or like something kind of Disney related, but not really. But here they just had straight up, portraits of characters on the wall. And they had like a big painting of like Eric hanging up, like a canvas portrait of him.
With the dog.
The furniture was like, it
outlined
looked like
in characters.
The mirrors were outlined in more characters.
My board had characters.
You walk in, immediately you just see the fucking chairs. And the chairs, instead of being basic hotel chairs, they look like clamshells.
And they're like bright red.
Yeah.
They're really nice and fun.
And all the furniture is, it looks like it came from Eric's ship. So it looks like old
his
and...
ship, what is it? His ship, crash or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, when it sank.
It's really
Shipwreck.
just beautiful, like, details in every piece of furniture there. Even the bed, it had little bubbles on it. It was just, everything said Little Mermaid. I really appreciated that. And the quality of all the details was insane.
Like, if I was a parent and my child was like a super mega ultra fan of The Little Mermaid, I would really make it a point to have my child stay here.
This would blow them away, for sure.
And this would be the best bang for your buck. This would be like you're getting great value for your room payment. Like, super, super nice.
So then once we settled in, I went out for a smoke. Smoky smoke. You know how that is.
You went out without me, right? Or I don't remember.
I think we went together, no?
I don't remember smoking with you the first day.
No? Well, I know I went out. Because after that long wait and all that, I was like, I need to smoke. So I rolled out, and the only place to smoke in the resort, basically, I mean, they have some...
Are you sure you didn't take pictures of it? I don't see any photos of it.
I didn't take any pictures whenever I smoked. I was trying to be just as chill about it and just really enjoy it.
You know what it is? You took a shower and then you went to go smoke. And then no, you wouldn't have done that. Because I think I took my shower. Yeah, I took my shower when you left.
I don't know. I went to smoke.
Okay, fine.
I went to smoke, like the resort has a lake, and I basically went along the lakeside, and they have a bunch of seats every so often and trash cans. And every so often the trash cans also have like a little cigarette thingy. And I sat down in one of them and just chilled out and blazed a nice little J. It was relieving, to say the least. I think, man, I wish we were rolling, like, we also had the video. Because I think I recorded a video once we settled into the room, and I looked, I showed the joints, and I was like, this is the joint from the road, and I'm gonna go hit this now, and yada yada yada. But I smoked, I came back, and we started getting ready for our date night.
We always do a date night.
Yeah.
I gotta get a date night sometimes.
Sometimes. So we got nice and fancy, dressed up a little bit. You can see, I think, a photo of that on Flickr as well. And we went to downtown Disney. And the walk from the room
to the bus stop area
became very apparent.
Where was my Segway rental option?
Yeah.
Or my rent-a-bike?
Why can't I rent a golf cart? Or why can't I just literally ride my board or something during daylight hours?
Yeah, because you're not allowed on property any bikes or skateboards or anything.
It's intense. So the walk was, I'm not even kidding, it's probably a good 5 to 7 minute walk.
You know what this would be perfect for? If you went and brought your, what is it called? A trailer, and put your golf cart in the trailer. And brought the golf cart so that you could drive the golf cart.
I'd be curious if
area.
Disney allows you to have golf carts on their property.
But the thing is, they allow them in the wilderness, and you're allowed to bring your own in Fort Wilderness.
In Fort Wilderness. But that's a very special case. I don't know if they're going to let people just be rolling around their resorts in golf carts, competing with the maintenance people and stuff.
I don't think they would allow them to be on the path. They would probably just allow them to be in the parking lot.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But still, it's a long-ass walk. There's no way to slice it, basically. Like how she said it, you have to bring your own fucking golf cart to get around that crazy-ass walk. Yeah. But, we walked to you have to walk to the main, hotel area, basically where the gift shops are and shit, and we can hit up a bus there, and the bus takes you to, any part of the world you would like, Disney World.
Property. We waited too fucking long. We waited over 30 minutes, I think.
For the downtown Disney bus?
Downtown Disney bus.
Really? Oh.
Yes, because we saw the bus for the Magic Kingdom, which is if you think about it, the art of animation is on the exterior of the property. It's one of the furthest portions. It's on the very edge of the property. Magic Kingdom is in the center of the property. It's the central thing. So for it, the Magic Kingdom must have come every 60, every it was every 10 minutes. We saw it 3 times. It must have been. And then we also saw I think 2 or 3 times for Animal Kingdom. We also saw it.
Yeah, it was a while.
We saw a lot.
So we got on the bus and we finally got to downtown Disney. And our plan of attack
was to go to the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, we were planning on just rolling up because we couldn't get reservations online. We just wanted to see if we could maybe hit it up and see if there were any seats available, or even maybe the bar, if it was available. And what was the wait?
It was 2 hours and 40 minutes or something.
Something like that, something crazy. And then she was like, yeah, but you can just go up to the bar and find an empty seat and get served there. So we were like, okay, maybe we can try the bar. And immediately,
it was no. There were children
every
sitting
single
at the bar.
feet, yeah.
There were children in costumes and shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, so we gave up there, and we decided, you know what, we're gonna go to the
Wolfgang Puck.
Wolfgang Puck.
We're gonna do it.
There's 2 different Wolfgang Pucks. There's the
actual restaurant, and then there's an express. And we went to the express, which is more of a...
It's like a Panera or something.
Yeah, that's a good approximation, I suppose. It's basically sandwiches and pizza. And,
you know what it's like? It's kind of like when you go to Lime or something and you order at a register, and then you go sit down with a number at your desk. That's what it serves you.
Yeah. And then they have faux waiters. I mean, they're really waiters. They are waiters. The guy comes by and he's like, "Do you need anything? Do you need refills?" Yeah. I ordered a margarita pizza because I always like to keep it simple, and I just love pizza, man.
And
God damn it, I love pizza.
It was a very different kind of pizza than what you see in the resort.
Yeah, it definitely. It's something that's.
It's not a copy. It's like them actually making a different kind of pizza.
Them possibly even not even like bringing out of a box. Them maybe making it actually there. You know, because I've seen them just do it at Disney, and they just fucking. I might as well just bring my own oven and buy a box of frozen pizza at Publix. But
well, if we were, what is it, the Vacation Club members?
Yeah. But my margarita pizza was pretty bomb. Had some nice crust, as always.
And then I had a salad.
Caesar salad for you. Yeah.
And it came with a little crostini, and it was so delicious. The
crostini looked good.
It was really delicious. Well, the issue with it was the actual like baguette that they used. It was soft. It wasn't like they hadn't toasted it or anything. Which was
maybe it got soggy from the...
No, literally, like, there was just no... It was not toasted. There was no even, like, evidence of toasting. It was, like, completely soft, so the tomatoes, like, soaked into the bread, which was sad, but it was really, really delicious. And I've had crostinis in other places, and that was delicious.
It was a pretty decent place. The interior looked nice. It was spacious, as packed as it was. And, I would go back. You know, I had heard it before on podcasts how it was like a safe option for people and one of the better eateries at downtown Disney, and I found it hard to believe. And now that I actually go there, I could see why it's like a go-to for people, definitely. Well, I would almost take it home. We were talking about it later, how we were like, man, the guy asked us if we wanted it to here or to go. For here to go, and
we should have taken
something to go later.
It's too bad you can't order that to the resort. Could you imagine
the business they would have?
Well, yeah. I was gonna say, like, imagine if somebody had either like a Lyft service or what is that other one called? Uber. Like Uber deliveries, like they have that thing, TaskRabbit. There you go, TaskRabbit. People love TaskRabbit. If I could pay somebody to go to Wolfgang Puck Express, get it like to go and deliver it to me from my resort, I would certainly pay for that kind of service because that food is totally worth it. Like way more worth it than like
the resort food,
the resort delivery and stuff.
We finished our food stuffed to the gills, son. You know it.
Wait, no, I thought the point of eating there was it was like I ate lightly on purpose so that we can afford the Ghirardelli.
Well, I was stuffed. Yeah, you ate lightly, and I ate the whole pizza myself. Yeah, and I had 2 slices left, and I looked at them. And I was like, I should, I would, I could, but Ghirardelli.
So the next thing we did was that we went to the Christmas shop. We hadn't really shopped in the Christmas shop before. I always make it a point to never go into Christmas shops unless it's like Christmas time. But I thought to myself, you know what? I want to have like an ornament for my own tree this year. And it was a kind of a fail. But it was really disappointing because like my family, like when I was younger and just overall, like they've collected over the years really nice ornaments from Disney, and it'll have either like the year or it'll say like 25 years of magic or something. But, no, none of that.
No, it was just very basic ornaments, just very cheap looking stuff in a lot of cases. Definitely not worth the price that they were putting it at. Yeah.
So we went to Pin Traders.
Yeah.
We scoped out
after we saw the Duffy pin in our resort, we decided to scope out the pin situation at, the more pin centric place.
Well, that is the very, what is it called? Like the very well known, like that is the location for pin trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got you a Duffy pin.
Yes, I know.
That was nice.
I was really happy.
Very nice. And of course we had to pop by the new Marketplace Co-op.
Well, what we did first was that we went and got a smoke.
Yeah,
we went to the parking lot first.
Yeah, well, after eating and all that,
and we went to 2 shopping places.
I was like, man, I need it. All right, smoke time. Break. Yeah. So we walked through the parking lot of downtown Disney.
It's so crazy there. The what is it called? The smoking areas are kind of...
Due to the construction that's going on and the construction walls, the smoking areas are basically relegated to, like, right next to very, very crazy hectic walkways. And the people you see smoking there are fucking troopers. I fucking salute them for even trying to. Because you're just, like, in a sea of people who are pressing past you just to get by. And you have, like, a fucking flame in your hand. So we opted just to very chill out and go to the basically empty parking lot. And strolled around, had a nice smoke. We actually parked up right in front of the Marketplace Co-op at one point. The entrance on the outside. And...
we didn't know it was there, so we just went.
Yeah, I'd never seen it before. Yeah, I was like, we're gonna walk in a minute. You know, I'm almost done with this joint. And I sat there for a minute smoking. And as I smoked, a couple other smokers came, and they, like, I guess, saw the smoke signal. They came to the calling, and they just started gathering around and smoking in that area as well. It was fascinating to watch the effect. So we finished the joint, walked inside to the Marketplace Co-op, and started checking out the much of the merchandise, much of the Disney swag available.
A lot of it hasn't changed yet. No.
Yeah.
The co-op, they're supposed to, like, change them ever so often, but I mean, the co-op just opened, so I'm sure it's gonna be probably like a year before they start adding new merchandise to it, or like shifting the stores.
Shifting them majorly. Merchandise I can see changing, probably for fall or Christmas.
Oh, Christmas time, definitely.
Definitely,
yeah.
But this stuff was basically the same stuff we'd seen last time, with some new stuff sprinkled in, maybe for the...
We had a couple new cups.
A little Halloweeny stuff sprinkled in. Haunted Mansion more so.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, they had like the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which
yeah.
we don't have here, do we? We don't. The Walt
no.
Disney World. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
Tribute to Disneyland.
Really nice.
You could see a lot of the merch actually on the Flickr. That's some of the stuff that I actually posted prolifically of, because there was just a lot of nice close-up shots of shit. Lots of I made
Good
sure to
inspiration.
take. I was gonna say that's lots of reference photos and shit.
Oh, and you're using your book bag.
Plenty of selfies, of course.
Some nice sweaters. I found a really nice sweater that I really wanted.
Some old school. Man,
we went to the other store. This was us in the other store.
We went to the World of Disney, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's called the World of Disney. It's like the main... It's supposed to have, like, everything you can get in the park, you're supposed to be able to get it there or something like that.
So we popped into there and we wanted to scope out the situation, see if there were any new merchandise stocked, or really, I'm
always looking for, like, it's, I guess I'm doing what everybody else does. When, like, they get a new apartment, they want to just keep furnishing it. So I just want, like, I want cups and stuff to, like, have for the house. We don't have, like, large plastic cups.
Yeah. We're still struggling to find some.
I need a casual cup. Yeah.
And after that, we had a bit of an appetite and rolled into the Ghirardelli. It was nice.
And we ended up having, like, a spot by the water, and so we, like, chilled out.
Or did we stop by the Duffy section? I think we did this before Ghirardelli.
No, we went to the Duffy section after.
After?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. We double-checked on that. You're right. So, yeah, we popped by Ghirardelli. I'm surprised. Yeah, we didn't take a picture of the food because it was so dark.
Well, we were outside.
It was so...
I took one picture of it. Remember, I took it for Instagram.
Yeah. It was so packed that we couldn't eat anywhere inside,
or anywhere
near outside, or nearby.
We had to, like, travel, but
just
we found a good spot.
Walk for a bit. Yeah, we found a nice spot that you could sit.
And we were, like, right in the light. We were right in the light, which was good, like a spotlight. So we found the Duffy store, and
yeah, we were on the hunt for Duffy merch per usual. So we looked out for Duffy's butt, which is seen in a mirror, a window,
in a window that we had seen previously when we were walking out to the parking lot to go smoke.
So we popped back into the store and found the Duffy section, and we were able to locate a Duffy book bag. Last time we were able to score a Duffy clutch,
it was a children's, like, coin purse.
Yeah, it doesn't fit, like, anything.
It doesn't even fit my iPhone. My iPhone doesn't fit in it. It's so sad. That's a really clear description of how large that is.
Yeah. So this time you got a bag that you can actually put stuff in. It's nice.
And I got a keychain too. It's so hard. It's such a dilemma. I'm gonna hang it on my Christmas tree. That was my Duffy ornament. But it was really nice. We finally saw some evidence of the Disney Tsum Tsums in the children's toy shop area. And we sat back for a moment and we took a couple shots of it. And as we were just like momentarily standing in front of it, we saw people, never seen it before, walk up, react, get excited, and purchase the product.
We literally sat there for 5 minutes, and we saw a shelf, like the main, like the front of it, all the ones get taken, and all of them get restocked. You know, the cast member had to stand by nearby, wait for the kids to like leave, and then go over and rearrange them real quick, and then leave when the kids came back. It was a frenzy over these things. It was intense.
I don't understand why they don't have all the different kinds, because if they had all the different kinds, could you imagine people sweeping the store clean?
They only had Minnie and Mickey available.
Mickey.
Yeah, it was pretty.
And Stitch.
Yeah.
And people really were picking up Stitch a lot. And we saw a girl. She'd come and she'd pick up two. She bought a Mickey and a Minnie and stuff with her mother. Like, you know, it's such a shame. I don't know how to use your computer.
What do you want to do?
Like, start the next thing. This is the last picture.
Oh, well, we finished the the tour of the store, and we were basically exhausted from the day. You know, we'd driven there and had our date and eaten all that wonderful, wonderful food. God damn, it's so fucking good, Ghirardelli. So we popped back on that wonderful bus, and we let Disney just take us home.
And we arrived at the bus like we always do when the bus is leaving. And I always have to, like, wave it down.
Flag them down, yeah. Got back to the hotel, and we actually, you can see one of the shots online. I actually posted it today on Instagram.
Which one?
I posted the one of me hitting the big Sherlock in the Little Mermaid section. They actually have sculptures lining all of the resort sections. So in the Little Mermaid, as you walk, you can see, you know, like a big fork poking out of the ground, and it's her, like, comb. And there's a big treasure chest of like gold or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah, there's like gold, and there's like also like the Eric statue and stuff. But there was a statue of like a Sherlock pipe. Yeah,
it was a big pipe, and I was like, perfect. And we got like a nice little photo with that while it was lit at night. And in the other section, it's nice too. They have like the Lion King section. They have actual sculptures of characters from the story and stuff. It's nice. Alright, let's pop into the other slideshow here.
Whoa.
We're gonna actually get into the not so scary day.
Yeah.
It's really not so scary. Boo to you. Yo ho, yo ho.
So wait, we had to talk about. I mean, the morning before.
The morning.
What did we do in the morning? We slept in. We had breakfasts. And we went to, like, the animation hall, correct? For breakfast? I think so.
No.
Or did you bring it to me? You brought it to me. Yeah.
I think I brought it. Or that was I know I did it the second day. I just don't know if I did it the first day. Did we eat there?
Yes, we did. I remember going there, and I had, like, the Mongolian breakfast, and I had the naan bread and stuff. Because he bought me the brownie bread, the bouncy platter. Yeah. Okay. I remember now. Okay. So, like, that was a morning for some, like, work that I had to get done before we went to the Halloween party and stuff like that.
Yeah, you were working, and I was just basically setting up, making sure I had all my joints ready. They were rolled and put into the travel case and loaded, and had my hemp wick, my lighter, all the necessities. Made sure the camera was in my bag, all that shit. Made sure I was stretched out, did some yoga.
Yeah, you were doing yoga while I was working, which was good.
Making sure I'm prepped for the day, long day of walking. Stress on the tendons.
I have to admit, the table in this hotel room versus the one in the All-Stars movies is a lot smaller.
Yeah, that was a little hard to eat together and stuff on it, or just work on it for you. You were
Or
drawing
just
on
like
it.
eating together. I feel like that's a really common activity for people. And yeah, it was hard to fit my like 15-inch laptop on it. So
Had breakfast. You had the Mongolian naan thing.
Bread breakfast. Yeah,
it was basically like the
It was a bounty platter, but Mongolian style.
Yeah, it was fascinating. And then I had you
had the waffles that looked like the little creatures.
I did, yeah. Then instead of having Mickey waffles at the park, they had waffles that were supposed to be the characters. It was very weird. I did not like it at all. I mean, it was the same dough and everything, or the same like stock that they use.
But it wasn't what you wanted.
But it's just not the same. And they just really they give you like no sides with it, and the bounty platter
like,
doesn't come with
something.
waffles there. It comes with pancakes. I couldn't get the bounty platter. I don't know. I was dissatisfied with that morning breakfast. But we rolled out.
We rolled out at like, we got there at like 3:00, I think.
Yeah.
No, wait, hold on a second.
No.
Wait.
Got there like 3:15, 3:30.
We left the hotel, and we got there at a pretty good time because the bus didn't take very long to get there. We saw a lot of children dressed up for the Halloween party, though, which was nice. It was good to know that like that was happening. And when the bus arrived, a lot of people were getting off, and we were like, good. And so we got there. They started letting in people at 4:00. We got there at like 3:40 or something. So I was so upset with myself about not bringing an umbrella, but we had to wait in line with everybody else who was waiting in line.
Yeah, we had to sit basically at the front of the, like, where they check you in for your tickets, and there were just lines forming there with people waiting to get in for the party. And the people who were under the shade were lucky, and the people who weren't under the shade were baking. It was
sweltering.
So intense out there.
There was a girl in front of us in line upset about her makeup running because it was like so hot and she was sweating so bad.
But they let us in at 4. It was nice.
I was a little disappointed by this banner that they installed. Like when we rolled up to the actual park, they were still setting up the Halloween displays on the welcome sign where you pay to get in for parking. You know what I'm talking about? They didn't actually have the inflatables up yet. We saw like a half inflated little balloon thing. So they had like all this, like, it was kind of like cheap signage. But I guess you know what it is? It's probably because it's like the daytime and it's not looking its best in the daylight.
Yeah.
So we waited in line. We got there. I had some issues with mine because like they were having issues in general with everybody.
Yeah, they scan you, like they scan your ticket or your magic band or whatever, and your fingerprint, of course. And then you have to actually walk up to a person who gives you a special wristband. Wristband. And the wristband is basically like a
signifier that you paid like part ticket.
Well, but it's basically like one of those bands that you get at the fair. Or like I'm trying to think of an analog. The hospital.
Like the fair is like they're cheaper at the fair.
Yeah.
They're like
they're a little cheaper.
Plastic material.
These are a little better.
These are like ones that you get when you go to like cons and stuff. Like if you think about it, like it's like those kind of like
bands. Yeah, I was trying to think of an analog to it.
Yeah.
So they put a band on you, and then you walk past that, and then another person has bags for candy.
Yeah.
And they're giving that out. And this is all before you've even entered the park, like before the main gate, like
before you even go under
the train tracks.
And when you get under the train tracks, you can get some of the. We took a bunch, like 5 of the maps.
Yeah, they had specialty not so scary Magic Kingdom maps for the day, so we made sure to stock up on that. And we've got we're just trying to take in all the new decorations, that
we have never seen
Main
before.
Street is basically the place that they decorate the most, so we wanted to linger a little more and take photos during the day and make sure that we got good photos of everything that we wanted to.
Especially for the time of day that it was pretty bright still.
Actually, no. Immediately when we got in, we were like, take a couple pictures, whatever. Sorcerers of the fucking Magic.
Oh yeah, we went straight to Sorcerers.
We were talking about that for like weeks ahead of time, planning it. For the Not So Scary Halloween event, they've actually released a limited edition Sorcerers of the Magic, which is Disney's trading card game basically.
Like a Magic game.
Magic, Pokemon,
They
Yu-Gi-Oh.
have a lot of great signage, and the recruitment center is in the fire department, so it's kind of like your public service kind of thing. You know, it's like show up and recruit and stuff.
Yeah, you roll up to the fire department, and they have like it's a really awkward setup almost, because it's like a fire department, like they have fire department medals and stuff on the walls.
Well, it's repurposed, you know. It wasn't that first. It was probably just like something that was like a welcome center or something. But yeah, they had a lot of firefighting memorabilia. They had all these like service patches from like different counties, like different
years and different but we were actually told when we got into line, and
we waited for like 10 minutes.
We waited for a little bit, and before we even got to the front of the line, somebody announced, "All right, is everybody here for the limited edition card?"
It's not till 7.
We're not giving it out yet, and like we just everybody booked. There were like a couple people left in the room, but everybody was there for the card. So we were disappointed. Basically, let me get to it, I guess. We decided to stroll through the Emporium and see, what kind of merchandise was released for the event.
Yeah, because we were thinking about, because they advertised it in the maps, how there's like special merchandise just for the party. And I was like, oh my goodness, like a special pin.
Limited edition, like limited release, numbers of pins and things like that. I'm so down for that kind of stuff. But we walked into the store and we looked all around and asked a cast member, and we're told that it wasn't going to be released until 7. All of the limited edition, anything regarding the event, wasn't going to be released until 7 o'clock. They were being very stringent on that.
Which they didn't in the end, though.
Yeah.
They buckled in the end.
Which is fucked up.
At 6:45, that was, I remember.
I'll never forget.
I know the time.
Hashtag.
Okay. So, but we did check out the Emporium a little bit. There was like some spooky stuff already out. But yeah, not the stuff that they advertised. So we took a lot of pictures of like some hats, which was like things you could get everywhere else. Taking pictures outside and around the Emporium. Main Street was really well decorated.
Yeah, it was nice. They had pumpkins everywhere, carved in various fashions, depending on what they were on. Like they had the one above the movie theater had like a movie reel, a film reel carved into it. They had one above a sailing shop, carved as like a sailing boat. It was just nice, the little touches they had.
Okay, so this is when like the whole fiasco happened. Basically, I wanted to go shopping in the Emporium a little bit longer because I'm a girl and I like to shop. And with that, you went to go take more photography. And then at some point, I was looking for you, I was texting. I had finished shopping, and I was like, okay, now I want to go see where you are. And I thought, oh, maybe he's like in the glass shop taking photos. So I thought, I don't know why. And I thought you wouldn't go far, but you went all the way up to the castle area.
Yeah, I walked out, and in the distance, I hear like a song playing, and I'm like, I know this isn't an ordinary song. So I keep rolling down, and I notice that there's a show playing, and it was I don't know what show it is. It's like Maleficent.
It's one of their like
standard shows. It wasn't anything special for the event. It was Maleficent trying to fight dreams away or some shit, or wishes. I have a video of it. I think I'm gonna post. But I roll up to that. I've shot some footage of that. I wanted to stay close, and I figured that was still close. It's like
not
a little.
Close enough, apparently.
Yeah, literally, it was too far away. But you called me, and I stopped filming, and I was like, oh, but I'll head over right now. I'm on my way, and I start heading over, and on the way to like between the castle area that I was at and the main street, where all the shopping area is at and all the decor, there's kind of like a bridge thing that happens, and
it's like a little lake that runs like next to the
And on that bridge, there's like a photo opportunity where everybody just takes a shot with themselves in the castle. So I saw like this big group of people taking a picture, and I was walking their way, and I didn't want to get in the shot. Like I could tell that I was gonna maybe be in the back of it or something. So I immediately cut like to the right, and I started walking alongside of them. And, I caught a look at them, and I was like, man, it's such a, like, weird group. It wasn't like a family. It wasn't like, like dad, daughter, and all that shit. It was like
a big group of people.
Like friends and some shit. So I was like, let me get like a second glance of this. And I take a look back and I see a face that I recognize, and I'm like, no, this is fake. This is fake.
And you look again.
I keep walking, and I'm walking fast because I want to meet you, but I want to still see it. So I look back, and I look at him,
and he looks at you,
and he looks at me, and I'm like, it is him. It's fucking him. And I keep walking, and I have to look back a third time because it was so fucking fake of a moment that I couldn't believe it. So I looked back a third time, and I caught a good glance, and it was him. It was Pete Warner from the Diz Unplugged podcast. It was very intense of a moment. We've been talking for weeks before how it'd be so funny. So funny. Ha ha ha. If we just stumbled upon them in the park, you know?
But it turned out to be something so different. So, like, you were trying to find me after you had seen him, but I still hadn't seen you. And they were like, they passed right by me or something?
Yeah, you were like, I'm on the bridge. And I was on the bridge, and I was like, I didn't see her. And I was like, desperate. So I pull out my phone and I call her. And in a desperation, I'm like, where are you? Where are you at? Across the bridge? I don't know.
I was really concerned.
I was like, you just missed them. You just missed them, baby. I missed. Who? What's going on? Are you okay? Breathe.
Why does your voice have to get deeper in my...
I have to convey this to two different people. But, you know, I conveyed to her that Pete Warner's there, and, you know, we finally...
And we're both like, fuck!
Like, she passed right by him, didn't even see him. And somehow, like, I have Pete Warner, like... Like, I'm fucking RoboCop. I can fucking identify his face. It's fucking crazy.
And we found him at the Emporium.
Yeah, like, she walks by him, and I walk by them. And they finish taking their picture and they leave or whatever. And I finally catch up with her. And I'm like, fuck, you just missed them, baby. Like, you fucking just...
I would have seen them all in a group photo.
Yeah, you would have seen them all
I would have taken a shot of them taking that shot.
So I'm like, you know, if we just kind of stroll down Main Street, maybe we can see him. And we walked down Main Street a bit. And in the Emporium, we were walking down and I was like eyeing in every store. And then I was like, look out for a gray baseball shirt or some shit, and we spotted him, or I spotted him. Walked into the store, and you approached him. I was amazed. I was like, if you're gonna do this, I'm gonna go do photography again, I guess, because you're getting intimate. This is too. You're dipping your foot into the pool.
Well, like, you're just a chicken every time we meet pseudo celebrities.
Because I don't want to ruin. Like, I want to keep listening to the podcast. I don't want to like fuck that up, and like meet them, and then they're like, wow, you're a douchebag. And I'm like, well, you're a douchebag too. I'm never going to listen to your podcast again. Fuck. I've just ruined my whole content schedule. There's only so many podcasts I can listen to. Damn.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. But you talked to him.
Yeah, I talked to him. He was very nice. He actually listened to me. He asked me what my name was. I just said I was a fan. And he was like, what's your name? And I was like, oh my goodness. And, it was really nice. He introduced me to Dustin as well. I accidentally called him Justin, which I felt so embarrassed about. But it's just like, it was like a slip of the tongue kind of thing. Like, it wasn't really my fault. Oh man, we were just like completely into the conversation that we just let the slideshow go. So we're like completely out of order now. But I got to meet him. It was really funny seeing him like shop at the Emporium, because more specifically, like, I saw him like stocking up, and I was wondering if he was stocking up to like put around the office at the Diz Unplugged like podcast, or where the Dreams Unlimited, wherever. No, what is it? The Marley Studios, I think it's called. And but he was like, you know, they were collecting stuff, and they said, oh yeah, you know, keep an eye out for everybody else. They're gonna be around. And I was like, oh okay, I'm gonna keep an eye out. Like that, I'm gonna make a point about it. And I even mentioned how, like, my boyfriend had seen you guys. And then they were like, oh, him? And they, like, noticed that he was just, like, eyeing you, and you were eyeing him, and he was like, what's the problem? And I was like, we were just both a little starstruck. And he was like, oh, please. Like, he was so taken aback by us saying that. Mm-hmm. And I realized, like, I'm never gonna, like, I can never interact with him again because it's gonna be so awkward. I can't meet him again. But it ended up happening anyways. But that's besides the point. So we left the Emporium after meeting them, and you had taken your shots and stuff. and we decided to make our way to Tomorrowland. We found the, what is it called? The something cafe. What is this area called? Like Starlight Cafe or something?
It is the...
It's the area where they have...
Launching pad. Launching pad.
No, the launching pad. Launching pad is the... Isn't that the central thing that's by the People Mover?
That is the...
It has, like, only drinks.
Maybe?
That's a launching pad, baby.
I guess. This is like... It's not the Starlight Cafe, but it's the other major eatery. And it's the more expensive one in Tomorrowland. It's the one right coming into it.
The one that's never open?
Yeah, in the morning. But we chilled out there to cool off because we came into the park and...
We were sweltering.
I had, like, sweat myself a new layer. And I needed to just wipe my face with just something, like, fresh and cold. So we wiped our faces down and got on with our fucking adventure, man. Like, right on.
We took some pictures.
No, took some, selfies. I don't think I posted any of those.
So we went to Tomorrowland, and the first thing we saw was the Space Ranger spin from Buzz Lightyear. It was like a 10-minute wait. And you took a video of us walking through the horrible line.
Yeah. Like, with the Not So Scary Party, the reason that it's so enticing, not so necessarily because of, like, the special content that they release or any of the Halloween stuff. Literally... The
park is empty.
It's just fucking the ride waits are low.
They're less than, like, 20-minute waits on everything.
And we walk up to Buzz Lightyear, and it is just a picture of what the rest of the night is going to be like for us.
It was so exciting. It was so nice.
Exhilarating,
We could have just ran through it. It took no time.
The only reason it took so long is because we actually had to walk through the queue, like
the little zigzags that they do.
Yeah.
And then we even had a couple that was taking a picture in the middle of the line because they wanted to get a shot with Zurg or something. Mm-hmm. And they even apologized and were like, "Nah, man, don't worry about it." I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I got some nice shots of Buzz thanks to them, like chilling out for a second. But we hit it up and walked through the queue and
I creamed you.
You fucking creamed me. I was talking so much shit that I was gonna beat you this time, and you fucking.
I demolished you. You had like 7,000, and I had like. Let me get some official numbers here. I'm not gonna throw out numbers and not be accurate. I want to be fair to you.
Fair. Basically, I got like 29,600, something crazy like that, and you got like 600.
You got 8,100, and I got 79,100.
Yeah, whatever. Moving along from that defeat.
I got a little bit scared because it started to look like it was going to rain. And I was like, oh, man, I beat myself up about not bringing an umbrella to wait in the hot, hot sun. But then, like, now it's raining. And I didn't bring in my umbrella. Mm-hmm. So it was a little nerve-wracking. But it said it was like a 20-minute wait. We ended up maybe waiting. We probably waited in total 20 minutes.
Yeah, we were like, it's going to rain. Let's pop over to Space Mountain. And the wait shouldn't be too long. And... we went through most of the queue just walking, and then we basically got to the room where they load people up into the launchers, and that's when we started hitting an actual line. And we waited there for like 10 or 15 minutes. And it wasn't bad. We had a really nice ride. There wasn't anything special to it, Halloween-y, but just fucking... I would ride Space Mountain like 10 times in a row. It's just awesome.
Yeah. So we started scoping out
the smoke spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right next to Space Mountain. And I saw that they had a marker for the trick-or-treat spot, but it was supposed to be before the actual smoke spot. But apparently that was a whole path. But we'll get into that later.
But we were able to smoke there before the party started, and we were able to just camp out and spark up a nice joint, relax, chill out behind the Autopia area, or whatever we call it, the Indy Raceway. After that, we kept walking down the pathway, and it leads to...
And we went to the...
Yeah, we kept walking down the pathway into the circus area. I forget what it's called, Storybook Circus. And my pin broke, so we went into a store, and the store fixed it for me. Got me a new one. It was nice. Then we kept walking down into Fantasyland to hit up the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
And so we passed by the aerial ride, and so there was a lot of aerial-themed stuff.
Yeah, our plan of attack was to hit up the Be Our Guest restaurant, But we wanted to make sure we got the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train down. So we popped into that. That was a bit of a wait. That was literally 30 minutes.
Yeah, they estimated 30 minutes, and it was 30 minutes.
Like, it went from... and it is the newest ride. It's the most popular ride. But so it's kind of to be expected.
It's to be expected, but 30 minutes is not bad at all.
No. Like, when we originally went, we
stayed
did
for
an
like
hour plus, yeah. So we rode that. I got a great video of that during the daytime, and then later we were able to ride it at night.
And then you also started developing a technique of using like a tripod, like putting your camera on still objects to take shots. And some of your shots came out really good. Yeah,
I was able to get some long exposures. I was really hoping this time to really burn out my fucking camera with long exposures, and I got a couple of nice ones.
But it was a great ride.
Popped out, had walked around Fantasyland a bit.
We headed towards the Beer Guest restaurant.
Yeah. And there we were told that there were no availabilities.
It was
only reservations, and we had to wait until someone canceled the reservation. So we just booked from there.
Yeah, because I was like, how many other people are waiting for that as well?
Yeah.
So we went, and...
we popped right back to Main Street.
Was that the time where I wanted to change my wristband?
You wanted to change your wristband, and we also wanted to catch the release...
of the cards.
Of the card. So you went and got your wristband changed? Card?
No, this was... No. Wait, was it?
Yeah, you can see it folded there.
Yeah, I see it's folded
already.
there, but we didn't get our trading card? Didn't we see Pete Warner?
Yeah, but I didn't take pictures of any of that. I didn't take a picture of the card.
But we didn't get the card. We did that before we bought this. We have to talk about how we got the card and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I was talking about not that yet. Yeah. I was talking about the bracelet. You got your bracelet, and we were in the Main Street area.
Yeah, we had an employee help us, replace my wristband because it was too large. And they saw it, and they're like, "Oh, oops, wow." And so, I got a new one. And then we saw this huge-ass line in front of the, whatever the courthouse is or whatever it's called, the City Hall. I think it's City Hall.
Yeah, we were wondering what it was.
We ended up finding out there was this huge-ass line for Jack and Sally.
From Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
It was the first meet and greet that we'd had at Magic Kingdom, and one of the few meet and greets they've had here. They really don't have them here at all. Just you see them at Disneyland, more so than Disney World. So it was really cool to have them here. I mean, we didn't get to see them, but just the fact that they were there.
Yeah, and then from there we were waiting in the center of the entrance area of Main Street. And we saw them.
Lo and fucking behold, who's gonna be there?
And we were waiting for 7 o'clock to go to the what is it called? The fire station, because that's when they told us to arrive. And then we see them all standing around outside. And I decided, let me go say hello to the other Disunplugged.
Yeah, the Pete Warner guy was there, and then he had finally regrouped with the rest of the cast.
Well, not everybody, but a large, Craig was there, and the other dudes. Dustin was there, and the guy who's the president. I always know him as the president. I don't know what his name is. He's he has the wife that she's had the Jody Jetson.
Forget his name.
Yeah. Well, they were all there. I said hello.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh yeah, if you're getting the card, you should get it now because it's already out." And I'm like, "Damn it! You told us 7." So.
And yeah, they released the card.
I looked like a fucking casual. So we went. We went inside and we did the whole process and we learned how to do the card game and whatever. So that was nice. It was a lot of fun.
It was the first time we'd ever experienced the Sorcerers of the Magic, whole thing. Because we'd been to the Magic Kingdom before, but we'd never taken advantage of it. When you go to the Magic Kingdom, you can actually get a free booster pack of Sorcerers of the Magic
Which
card.
comes with uncommon cards. It comes with a great selection.
It's basically
cards.
just like a booster pack of any sort of
mystery cards.
Card. It gives you basic cards, and then it gives you one rare card. And
it's you're supposed to get between 1 to 2 regular cards, common cards. You get 1 to 2 uncommon cards. You get 1 rare card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're collectible. They're great. They sell online. It's nice.
Okay, that's it.
That's all I have to say.
If you want the card,
if you want any cards, maybe you can talk to us about it.
Send us at contact@WeedPornDaily.com.
Kick WeedPornDaily. But, yeah, we picked up the limited edition card. It looked pretty cool. I fucking hated how they just handed it to me.
Like, it wasn't in a sleeve. It wasn't sealed.
It wasn't anything. They were just like, here, it's in this huge pile that maybe the corners got scuffed of the whole pile. Like, you never know. Yeah, but we got it. Yeah,
we got the card and we left.
We left and we decided to check out the Emporium and see what
Since
the
it's
merchandise.
Now closer to 7.
Yeah, and see if they'd released some merchandise yet.
And one of the things I had seen when I met the Dis Unplugged people was that they were mentioning how they got the limited edition magic bands that were coming out. And I was like, oh, interesting. And I saw them taking photos of it. And I was like, So we went inside the Emporium, and the first thing that we saw, we went to the center first. And we looked for the pins and stuff, and we couldn't find them. I remember this now. And so we asked the guy, and he said, oh, yeah, it's by the registers. And so we actually had to go to the registers in order to buy the pins. Like, they didn't want people just buying all the pins.
It was crazy. They had them on lockdown behind the counter. And, like everything was just... Like, we went up to get the pins, and I felt like rushed. Like all the pins types were there. Like, the lady didn't even know.
Well, they didn't speak English that well, so...
well, yeah, and they didn't, I'm guessing, explain the situation to her.
Well, I don't think... Yeah, because she had to ask, like, one of her, like, fellow employees.
Can I even sell these and shit?
She's like, are these, like, the ones that are the limited edition? She goes, are these all of them? So.
But we picked up a limited edition pin, and
we got a Chippendale pin, and then we got a Mickey Minnie pin.
Yeah.
Sorry, those were really cool. They were really nice. And they had a lot of really great pins. But the other ones were kind of like Captain Hook and Maleficent. I'm not a fan of those as much. So, we got those.
Kept walking around.
We kept walking around. And then I saw the magic bands. And we thought to ourselves, oh man, like, we should see the magic band. You know, maybe I want the magic band. And it was something that I was like, maybe it's something really cool.
I guess we should walk behind the fucking counter.
And we were complaining about how, oh my god, like, we have to wait in line and see if we even like it or not. And I was like, I don't know if I can make a decision on the fly like that. And then we ended up meeting a guy who literally his job was for people who couldn't wait in line and they just wanted to see the item. Like, he was showing off all the magic bands and explaining, like, the rarity of them and explaining, like, how there's only a limited printing of each of them and things like that. Because they're, like, not skins, but, like, they're just, like, the regular colored magic bands but printed on. Yeah. And I really liked. I'm a really huge fan of the gray magic band because I'm a big fan of gray. Gray is like one of my major color like palettes, and I was kind of disappointed when I figured out when we first got the magic bands for the first time that the gray ones are the default ones, and I was like, oh boo, like that sucks. Like I was hoping maybe like blue would be it because blue is like the Disney color or something. But no, the gray ones are the ones that, like, if you never picked out your magic bands, that's the one you get by default. So, this was, like, a nice step up from that. Because it's, like, the special limited edition gray magic band has this really beautiful print on it.
It has a nice, like a wallpaper-esque print on it.
It is the wallpaper
from the Haunted Mansion. They're hoping, in the future to incorporate, things where if you possibly scan the magic band, it has, like, sound effects from the Haunted Mansion play. And then we actually scroll past the picture here of some policemen. Immediately at the start of the party, we started noticing police everywhere. We started noticing police, like, just walking around the main center area. We started noticing police at every single candy area. Police were, like... Everywhere.
But they were, like, Disney security.
Disney security, but they're fucking police. Like, you never see them usually.
Those people, they're the only time I've ever seen them was when they take down the flag.
Mm-hmm. Or they like, I've seen them maybe stroll past me, like, once or twice in, like, the Main Street area. But they're never, like, in other parts of the park, really. Not really.
It's like they're hidden. You know?
They don't come out unless they're needed. And I guess tonight.
So, we got caught in a bottleneck at some point. Right? This was, like, the beginning of the Halloween party?
Yeah,
we decided, like, oh, man, we need to get out of Main Street right now because...
we don't want to hit this parade.
Yeah. So we went to, what is it called? Liberty Tree Tap. Oh, we went to the Harbor House. Oh, we went to go eat because it was 8 o'clock. I remember now.
We were struggling so hard to find something to eat because we really wanted to hit up a lot. What happens with the Halloween party is that a lot of all the restaurants get closed except for like a handful of them. So we wanted to make sure that we took advantage of some of the nice eateries before they got closed. And we stopped by the Harbor House and I had fish and chicken that was
like
fried,
a
surf and turf fried thing with fries.
And then I got the delicious vegetarian sandwich. Oh, so good.
So this is probably the best place to eat at Magic Kingdom if you're looking for like no reservation, just
like quick
sit down. The best quality food, like all the ingredients are really like
excellent
nice.
Coleslaw, excellent vegetarian option. This is the best vegetarian option I've seen.
Probably, yeah.
And
Definitely.
they have like these beautiful like kettle pot, like chips that they make. This was a great place.
Excellent meals here every single time.
Because 8 o'clock is the first parade, and the first parade is the most popular parade.
Well, that and also what happens is the park empties out by that time. Like when we were there at 4, like people were still stragglers and hanging around and trying to milk the park for as much as they could. And then by 7 o'clock, that was like everybody who's there has a ticket for the event.
Like we passed through multiple checkpoints where they would bottleneck people on walkways, like over bridges and stuff. And that way, like, you would have to hold up your wristband and they would do a wristband check. And so that was really nice.
So by this time, everyone had been filtered out and it was just the party people.
It was so empty
it was
inside
just
the Harbor
empty.
House. We literally were, like, second in line and we just, like, it was so quick. It was so quick. And the quality was great. Excellent.
Yeah, despite it being that empty, you would expect it not maybe to be the slack or something, but they were on point. It was perfect.
Yeah, so we left there, and by the time that we left our dinner, the parade had already started.
Yeah.
But because of the way the parade works and how it starts all the way in the very front of Frontierland, we were able to
just run up and catch it real quick.
We caught it really, really quick.
We didn't even have to like save a spot or anything. It was nice.
We went smoking first, and I think we encountered the parade after it. Oh no, when was
no, that was after.
Oh, so you didn't record the parade? Oh, you recorded the parade.
Yeah.
This is the photograph.
Yes.
I apologize. Okay, so the parade.
The parade, we got to see basically the whole parade and judge it because I've been studying it.
We saw the whole parade. We saw from the front flat.
Yeah, you're right. No, we saw the whole fucking parade. So I've been studying it like a fucking scholar for the past couple weeks. Like I could write a dissertation on the order changes over the years and the different sculptures that they've introduced and recycled and things like that. So this time it was really nice to see the minor changes that were made. They shuffled some of the floats around. They added in a Wreck-It Ralph float, and they added in Wreck-It Ralph and no, the Phineas and Ferb thing has been there every year.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
The thing they added was the Peter Pan, Wendy being strapped to the thing with the Lost Boys.
Barbados was there. Like he wasn't walking, but he was up.
Barbados was there. They took out the Winnie the Pooh float. And they just had the Winnie the Pooh characters running around on the street.
They also had the, like the country dancers, the square dancers. They had new outfits that were more modern, a little more contemporary.
And the ground scrapers didn't get too scrapey this year. It was a little disappointing.
Yeah, like they didn't have enough, like, flint on their, like...
The shovels or something, yeah. Or they weren't putting enough, like... Pressure or something, yeah. Because in the videos, they, like, really pop and they really, like, crackle. And when we saw them, it was just... They cracked a little bit.
We actually had a really good spot. I mean, it was a shame that we got the spot that we got because we were facing a light. We were facing a spotlight. Yeah. So all the characters and stuff, it was in full light. But it was just a little difficult because I'm sure... Cause, like, you had
it went in from, like, darkness to they're well-lit to they're silhouetted to they're dark again, and that was my lighting. It was a little frustrating to deal with as a cinematographer, but I dealt with it.
So yeah, we saw the Wendy float. The Wendy float was really nice. Yeah. She was really acting. She was playing Mr.
That
Schmid.
Was my favorite float, just for her performance. It was so on point. I could hear her. Yeah, I could literally hear her, and I was like, "You're selling it." I appreciate that.
I was really disappointed by... I mean, do you want to talk about it more? No?
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into depth into it.
I guess you could watch the video.
Yeah, just literally get into, like, there's plenty of videos of that kind of stuff online. It's the same shit every year, basically. You were disappointed by the Haunted Mansion ghost you mentioned?
The Haunted Mansion ghosts, I didn't like them that much.
The Haunted Mansion...
They didn't look like they were as in sync as they normally are.
There was literally a float, I don't know if you remember it, and I was watching it in the video thing when I was editing it. Yeah, it was just gravestones.
Yeah, you didn't notice that? I saw that float, and I was like, wow, what a shitty float.
What a fucking, like...
And it glows its
poorly lit, yeah, and it was, yeah. But, yeah.
But,
Great parade. I appreciate the song. Really catchy. I
appreciated the intensity at which everybody worked.
And everybody was on it, yeah. Even though it was the first night, everybody was still, like, really trying to sell it.
Well, this was the first night of the very first parade of the first night. Can you imagine? This is the very first of the whole season.
Yeah.
So, once that happens, are you gonna drink?
We, after the parade finished, we decided to keep walking up Frontierland and hit up the Big Thunder Mountain.
Well, what had ended up happening is that the park empties up even further. Like, once the parade passes, people follow the parade all the way to the entrance.
Yeah, they're like, I saw the parade, I saw the show, I'm done with this thing. Like, I got everything I needed.
Yeah. And so, everybody was filtering out of Frontierland, and they were just following the parade to the main entrance. And we decided to go straight to, the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And we actually got to the smoke spot. And the smoke spot was killer. Because we didn't smoke after we ate dinner. So it was enough time for you and your stomach to, like, get a little bit in pain or whatever. But we got the select VIP seating. We got the rocking chairs in the Frontierland section.
Yeah, it's nice. Next to Thunder Mountain, they have a nice little smoking spot that overlooks the river and the Tom Sawyer like island, and
you can see like the riverboat from it and whatever.
Yeah, you're on this like dock area, and usually when we get there, it's always packed and there's always people there, and they have this little special seating area with rocking chairs. And we were actually, it was empty enough where
you could sit back and relax.
We scored one. It was a dream. And then it was nice too. We noticed on the actual mountain of Big Thunder Mountain, they projected a big
like pirate thing.
Pirates logo. And that's when we really started to notice a lot of the projections and stuff, because the night had fallen.
Dark, yeah.
And they were really breaking out more of the decorations and stuff.
And so we passed by the Thunder Mountain, and it was like
another walkthrough.
What was it? It was another walkthrough. We literally like ran through it. I jogged through part of it, yeah. And it was really enjoyable because we had never ridden it at night. We never ride rides at night, especially those big roller coasters. We always do them in the morning. And it was so nice. I really enjoyed it. I think the darkness made it a little bit scarier.
Yeah. Because
you didn't know where the drops were as much, and you couldn't see those things. And we also saw the town at night.
I'd never ridden it at night, and there were a lot of qualities of it that weren't highlighted in the day, or you just don't have the particular focus on it.
Yeah, it's a really big shame because, like, there are some areas that you lose when you go to Nightfall, like the Geyser area, but at the same time you get to see the town alive. So it's like a trade-off kind of thing. But we did that, and we were gonna do the Splash Mountain, but we like missed the entrance or whatever, and we just gave up on that. And we went all the way to the Haunted Mansion. Is that what we were looking at just a few seconds ago?
Yep.
Yeah. So we walked through the Haunted Mansion. We even accidentally kind of skipped line because it had like an open cut door that I guess somebody just left open. We just like went through and we cut off like at least like 10 people, which was nice. And we got on the ride, and it was very intriguing because every couple minutes on the ride actually like stopped.
Yeah.
Like when we first got out of the that little introductory like show, I guess is like a way to put it. That we entered the area where you get on top of the little doom buggies, and they the line wasn't moving, and everybody was kind of sitting still, and the doom buggies weren't working, and that's a perpetual motion ride. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of weird and fishy, and it just kept happening throughout the whole ride. It was just we got stuck.
It would just stop, and it's nice with that ride because you have a narrator, like having it narrating it for you the whole time, and it's this really nice deep voice. It's one of my favorite narrators for Disney rides, and he actually narrates the like error messages or whatever. He's like, sorry, our apologies, but playful spirits are meddling with the projections or something, and it was nice, but we were interrupted a lot of times. I was really surprised.
It really caused a disconnection.
Yeah, I was like, basically, I should ride this again because I didn't ride it. You know, I just sat there for 5 minutes in darkness. But
we left.
We left. The ride was fairly satisfying. I tried to record it, but you can't capture any of that without like a black light, or what is it? Not a black light. Night light.
Night vision.
Night vision. That's the word.
But so after we had left there, we were passing through Fantasyland, and the first section you pass is the, what is it called? The Tangled section, where the restrooms are, as well as the recharge section. And as we were refilling our water bottles and things like that, the fireworks started. Right? That was the time when we saw the fireworks.
Was it? I thought it was later.
I thought it was at that time. Because you recorded it. It would have been in the photo. It wouldn't have been in the photo.
Can you hit skate? But yeah, I don't think so. I think that was later. I think. Yeah, see? No, yeah, you're right. Boom, you're always right. There you go.
There you go. So we were refilling the water bottles and, restroom break and all that jazz, and we found actually a pretty good spot to watch the fireworks.
I don't think so. I think it's a terrible spot, honestly. If you actually sat there, like, long enough to... Like, basically what they do for they have a parade, and they have
fireworks.
They have like a show, like a fireworks show, and it's actually one of the best fireworks shows, and it's like the Nightmare Before Christmas guys singing and Oogie Boogie and a nice little medley of a lot of songs, but basically functionality wise, they have the main fireworks going on like
on two different planes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have one going on like next to the castle or behind the castle. It's
directly to the sides.
Yeah. And then they have one behind Fantasyland.
Behind the Tangled section.
Behind the we were like basically right there where they were shooting it off from. And that's where that plane is. And then if you're looking at it from Main Street and you're looking at the castle, it all looks like one plane. But from where we were sitting, I was looking behind me and seeing the big fireworks, and then I would have to turn around and see the castle fireworks. So it was like two different shows going on.
Well, I feel like, like if you weren't sitting in that little center island of the walkway for like the Tangled section, if you were off to you were sitting to the side of it, you would have had it coming at you like a V section. Instead of you going forward and then back, you would just be to your sides.
I guess.
I think that would have been better.
I would just rather see it
from the main street where everybody is.
Yeah, I think, yeah. But I got a video of it from the Tangled section. It was a pretty decent show. I just love the, they time it really well with the fireworks, and the fireworks work well with the song. It's a nice little composition that they put together.
Section, yeah. So we then went to Fantasyland,
and we saw one of the aspects of the night that are one of the highlights for a lot of people, but not necessarily us, because we're not into that kind of thing. But we saw a meet and greet with characters going on, just like the Sally one earlier, Jack and Sally. There was a fair bit of a line, not as huge, for the 7 dwarves. All 7 dwarves were out there for like picture taking. And all that.
And then once we passed by that section, we went on the Winnie the Pooh ride, because most of the children's rides we haven't really went on. I know we went like obligatory, like it's a small world and things like that. And
we've never done Peter Pan, and we've never done Winnie Pooh. We've never done. We did the Mad Tea Party.
We did the teacups once.
Teacups, yeah.
And then we haven't done the Fill Our Magic.
We still haven't done the Fill Our Magic. There's just a lot there that we haven't done.
But it's just like, when the regular park happens, those sections are so full of children. It's just like it's unbearable how many children are.
It's like, why do I want to wait 30 minutes for this when I can wait 30 minutes to actually ride something stimulating?
Yeah.
But here, we were able to just walk through the line, and we were able to get right on Winnie the Pooh's acid trip. It was fucking stellar.
It was a really nice ride. I really enjoyed it.
I could see why, people enjoy it. It's really, it's not like the Alice in Wonderland ride before, how it kind of looked old and aged. It really looked polished and like new, and the black light effects were just on point.
Well, they really updated with those projections. I really enjoyed like how they incorporated them so seamlessly inside. I mean, you could tell that some of the parts where like we were in the fun room, it was kind of like what is it called? It was kind of you could see how dated it was because of the techniques they were using.
Just
to, like,
mirrors everywhere.
Well, like mirrors, and then you could see like rotating panels and stuff like that, and they almost looked like wood painted, like, you know, those kind of things. Is it time for a smoke break?
A little bit. I need to smoke.
But you know, we went through that, and then we decided, oh, you know what? We should do the mine train again, since now it's nighttime. Yeah. So we went from the Winnie the Pooh ride, which was really great, and then we went to the Seven Dwarfs mine train. It
was great at night. I really enjoyed the experience.
Wait, is this when we were looking for our smoke spot? Did we do the smoke spot before we did the Seven Dwarfs? I think we did. Remember we did the...
Well, there was one point. Let's talk about the smoke spot for a minute, because I think we passed over it at one point and we didn't discuss it.
Yeah, look, there we go. We didn't discuss it.
But there's this one perfect smoke spot in Magic Kingdom that we love to go to. That it's between the Goofy's Storybook Circus, Goofy's Barnstormer in Storybook Circus, and the Space Mountain in Tomorrowland. And it's just this kind of like back walkway that goes along the train tracks. And it's just a nice little calm smoke spot, out of the way, not too many people pass by it. It's very scenic. Yeah, and people are literally just crossing through so they don't linger or anything like that. There's nothing to linger on. But this night we'd heard that, and we'd seen that it gets transformed into a trick-or-treat path. And we'd noticed on the map that the trick-or-treat path was marked as like this one point at the like start of the path, like way away from the smoke section. So we were like, maybe if we just keep walking down the path, they just stop giving you trick-or-treats and we can smoke, and we can kind of just watch them from a distance do it or something, whatever. Yeah. And we walked down, and we literally just...
It was like every 10 feet there was a new
more,
spot.
Like, candy. It was just... I mean, honestly, it was probably the best spot to hit up if you wanted candy. Because they hit you up like 4 times as you went through. Yeah.
Especially because that's like a really far back portion of the park. They'll probably give you more candy later in the night.
Yeah.
But for us, we didn't want any candy. We just wanted to smoke, so we walked straight through.
Well, as soon as I walked through, I noticed, too, there were cops there.
There were a lot of cops.
Cops just posted up with the trick-or-treat people. I was like, damn, dude, like, what is this? So we
traveled all the way from the, like, that back smoke section by Space Mountain all the way to where the dance party is. This is by the Monsters, Inc. area, like, by the Buzz Lightyear section. Actually, it's basically facing the Carousel Progress, and they have, like, a big dance party. And it's like a big meet and greet area where people can dance with some of like the Monsters Inc. characters and some of those kind of things. And behind that stage area, we had been there before, but there was actually a trick-or-treat section next to the bathrooms, which was kind of weird. Next to the smoke spot, more than anything, there was a trick-or-treating section, like for something. So we went a little bit outside of the smoke spot. I mean, we tried to be out of people's way. We always try to make sure that we're not bothering anybody when we're smoking and things like that. I always try to be cautious of children and stuff. But we ended up setting up shop there and we smoked.
We basically smoked under the people mover path. It was nice. It was like next to some bathrooms under a people mover path. And then we hit up Did we hit up the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train after?
Yeah, we smoked. It was funny. A little kid ran up to us.
Yeah.
Like remember that? You don't remember that?
A little kid.
A little girl in like a.
While we were smoking. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Everybody basically like ignored us because most people were just going straight to the bathroom, and so since we were so far away from the bathroom, we were just like, oh yeah, so no big deal, right? And then all of a sudden when we were smoking, a little girl came up to us. She must have been like 4, maybe 5 at the most. And she runs up to us, and I was like, okay, like, we gotta get you out of here before your parents come over here.
And she rolls up, she's like, hey, what's up?
She wanted to say hi, and she, like, waved at us and everything.
Had to hide the joint a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't want to.
And I tried to walk her over to her dad, but her dad was already like halfway walking to us, and I was just kind of like, okay, this was not good. But so that happened. But then we ended up walking to New Fantasyland, and we went to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and we rode the mine train at night. It was like not that bad of a wait either. It was pretty short. Again, it was probably 20 minutes. And you got some good photography. You got some killer video, right, of the witch, which is gonna be a really nice thing to show, like video wise. And from there began this whole fiasco of we decided like, okay, now we're kind of getting tired, and we've exhausted a lot of our stuff, and we started noticing that the parade was gonna like happen. And, or the parade had already happened. What was it? Did we see the second parade happen?
No, but it happened
when we were leaving?
It was during something. Like, while we were riding stuff or
I remember
something.
what happened. Okay. So we started losing some steam. We were both hungry, and we decided, we're gonna go hit up Cosmic Rays and eat.
And that was one of the few eateries open.
That was advertised to be open until, like, midnight. That was, like, one of the things they kept advertising. And so we went to Cosmic Race. Since we were in the Fantasyland, we traveled to Tomorrowland. And Cosmic Race, it was so strange. There were people inside eating, but there were actually nobody manning the registers, and there was nobody in the kitchen. So I figured, you know what? Like, they must just not be in service anymore. Like, it's so strange that there was nobody there. I mean, I saw a cast member walk by, but she looked like she was busy. I didn't even bother to like ask her like, hey, are you guys open? Like, I feel like that's kind of a douchebaggy thing to ask. So we went from Cosmic Rays, and then we decided, you know what, we should get some like Starbucks. Like, maybe we can go, eat something else later, or maybe we don't even really need to eat that at all. So we went in and we got a coffee. I got it was still really hot even though it was dark. So, and we were walking so much, like we were walking back and forth, that I got like a very berry hibiscus, and then I got an little almond tart, and you got, did you get a dessert? What did you get? I feel like you got something. Or did you? Oh, you got the mummy cupcake. And the mummy cupcake was rather interesting. It was really sad because I know that you were thinking that the gray mummy cupcake was the same thing as the beer guest gray stuff cupcake, because it was a chocolate cupcake with gray frosting. And sadly, it was just regular old frosting, which I'm not a fan of. But you had like half of the cupcake, and I ate my entire almond blossom. That was what it was called, an almond blossom, and it was pretty delicious. If that thing was fresh, it would have been pretty good. So, we had Starbucks, and then we as we left Starbucks, we saw the parade pass by, and we saw the part where the villains passed by. So we saw the very end of that parade. We actually saw the
Starbucks employees jamming out too.
No, it was the ice cream parlor girls.
Oh,
the girls from the ice cream parlor were all outside, aligned next, because the ice cream parlor is right next to the Starbucks. So they were basically in front of the Starbucks and the ice cream shop, and they were all dancing, waving at the guys on the parade. Because like the villain guys, they have like a band, like a skeletal band, and like all the girls were like, ooh, like look at the band and whatever, and so it was cute. But yeah,
it's good to be back. It's good to make the good guys. Yeah. We saw the parade go by. We chilled out, sipped on some coffee, and I noticed that Casey's Corner, or you noticed really that Casey's Corner was open still, and it's basically right across from Starbucks and the ice cream place. And somewhere that I never really look at because they just sell basically hot dogs. It's like a Americana baseball kind of aesthetic. Yeah.
But what we were doing was that we were trying to do like timing and everything, and we were thinking like, you know what, the drive from the Art of Animation to Magic Kingdom is about a 30-minute ride, and it was 11 o'clock at night because the parade ends at like 10:50 or something like that. It ends really, really late, and so we decided like, we might have to wait for a bus at like the very end of the parking lot or the bus like stop or whatever, and then it's gonna take 30 minutes to drive there. And then what if the Landscape of Flavors isn't open, and even the pizza place isn't really open that late either?
Yeah, the delivery pizza to your room is only open until midnight, surprisingly. I think at other parks it's even open until 1, sometimes, and it was disappointing to see that it wasn't open that late here.
Yeah, so we did the logistics, and we were like, you know what, we might as well make the investment. And honestly, personally, I was thinking in my head, it's like, if we don't get any food, I don't mind. Like, if we get Casey's Corner and we go back to the hotel and they're still serving dinner, we can go buy fresh dinner there. I was totally game for doing that. But we went to Casey's Corner, and it was so disappointing. They didn't have to-go containers.
No.
And they didn't even have chicken there. They only served hot dogs. I had never eaten there before.
Yeah, me either.
It was very strange.
They had hot dogs, more hot dogs, and then they had mini corn dogs
for children. And I was like, I guess we're going to do
fries.
that. And it was a good portion. They gave a good portion of that. And it was like the children's portion, too, which I was surprised about. It was like 15 pieces each.
Well, it's not a children's portion. It's just a side.
Oh, it's a side.
It's called a side. Yeah.
So, to eat that much beef as a side is crazy. So basically we were like, are we just literally going to take this stuff to the hotel? Because I know they have microwaves there. But we were like, on the tray, we're going to take the tray from the park. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, I know exactly what to do. And I went to the Emporium, which is right next to Casey's Corner. Casey's Corner, literally, you can filter into the Emporium. And lo and behold, the guy that sold me my magic band, the little gray one that was a limited edition, he was just hanging out in the store, dancing, chilling out, no big deal. The store was, like, empty. And I said, hey, can you help me out? And he's like, yes, I can help you out. And I asked him for a t-shirt box. And he hooked me up with this really nice t-shirt box. He even put a little sticker on it and everything. I felt a little bad, but he helped me out greatly. And we used that as a way to transport our food, so it kept warm.
It's amazing, too, because by the time we got to the resort, or the hotel,
pretty warm.
It was pretty warm, and the box had just been misshapen and, like, basically ready to just fall apart, from the heat, because it was not...
made for that.
Not at all.
Yeah. So, we got to the hotel, and we went to the microwave, and we put the food in the microwave, and we heated it up, and it heated up pretty well. I was pretty happy, and, we were able to get, like, our condiments and stuff like that there. So, I didn't have that bad of an experience.
Well, it was a shame, because we'd rolled up to the hotel, and right when we got to the food court, it was still slightly open to where I could have gotten something.
Why didn't you?
Well, it was because we'd already gotten the mini corn dogs, and I was like, I guess, let me not double stack on that, even though I was still a little hungry.
I was still a little hungry, too. That was a little unfortunate. Yeah. But, I feel bad. I wish I expressed myself to you that, I was cool with buying, extra food, because, the Casey's food, I wasn't that thrilled to eat. I wasn't.
Yeah, I saw that they still had two stations open, and then as we were, doing stuff, they slowly closed one, and then slowly closed the last one, and I was like, Yeah.
I feel like it almost wouldn't have been fair to even try to, ask those people for food at that time.
Oh, no. They had pizzas. What they do there is they pre-make pizzas, personal pizzas, and they just leave them out, and you can just grab one and go. And they had a bunch of pizzas there, and I was like, man, I'm just ready to grab a couple of these and just walk away. And obviously pay for them.
I would have liked, French fries to go with them, or something fresher French fries.
I don't know if they were serving that.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I don't know. But, it wasn't that bad of a deal. But, we did that, and we went back to our hotel room and with hot food, and it was kind of fun. Mm-hmm. We chilled out, relaxed, and we went to bed because we were just exhausted. And then we had a really early morning coming up. So we were just exhausted. So we went to bed, and the next morning I had a lot of work to do, so I got up really early. You went to go smoke. You did your thing. You were so wonderful, and you took everything out and, set up everything for our trip. You even picked us up some breakfast. We got the banh platters. Mm-hmm. The banh platters were okay. They weren't that great. Yeah. But, what are you going to do? And we rolled out.
The smoking was nice in the morning, too. I was able to smoke a joint walking to the food court. So I just walked out from the hotel room, and I walked directly to, the closest way to get to the lake pathway. And I just lit up. Right there, and I just started walking, and nobody bothered me. I was just able to just walk casually and just smoke, and I had some people pass by and stuff, and it was nice. I just enjoyed a nice little banana joint, strolling there, and basically by the time I got to the food court area, the turn to head in, I was probably 3/4 of the way done with the joint. And I sat around for a little more, and I looked at the lake. There were a lot of signages along the pathway of the lake that discussed details of the movie, which were nice. Like little trivia shits. I always love trivia. And yeah, the joint was really relaxing. I got to pick up the food. And so I always love smoking a lot of weed before I step into social situations, because I feel like that's the only way you can deal with people, is like being super stoned. So I properly medicated myself and jumped into that pool, and it was fairly packed inside there, and I actually got stopped by one of the cast members. I think I told you, and she saw the iPhone case that I was using.
Oh yes, of course.
And I use a blue, like, kitty cat.
You basically his iPhone that he has isn't really an iPhone, it's like an iPod, because it was a gift. It wasn't even a gift, it was somebody's like iPhone that they weren't going to use anymore, and I got it, and then I gave it to him when I actually got an iPhone. And so I had like a little kitty cat iPhone case that I got when I was in New York City, and like a couple of years ago. And it's like a little kitty cat, and it looks like the kitty cat is like hugging the iPhone case. And all the time you get attention for that kitty cat iPhone case. It's really interesting, and it's a really good case though. It's rubber, and it's durable, and because of the way the kitty cat hugs the case, when it falls on its back. It has like a bit of cushion between the phone and like hitting like impact on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's a really good case.
Yeah, it served me well. I can't complain. But yeah, she approached me and she was like, "Hey, your case kind of looks," and I was like, "feminine?" And she goes, "Yeah, I don't wanna put it that way." And I was like, "Yeah, it's okay. I get it a lot. I did, yeah."
And it honestly was literally like my girlfriend gave me this.
Yeah, and then I said, "Yeah, my girlfriend gave it to me." And I think that, like, I wonder if that deterred her a little bit. Because after that, she kind of stopped. She walked away.
Well, I'm sure that was just like a small. I don't know. Well, you got the food, and you walked back. And did you smoke on the way back?
No, because the food was just so cumbersome. I didn't want to like.
And people were being like jerks to you.
Jesus, yeah, I was like trying to like walk down narrow pathways, and I'm like walking down a narrow pathway. You know, this is clearly my pathway. Like,
you're carrying a big heavy platter.
I have a huge fucking platter of food. I'm like trying to make it back to my room, and this stupid bitch just walks right in front of me, and I lock eyes with her. And she locks eyes with me. Yeah. And I let her know, like, visually, I'm like, I'm not moving. This is my path. I'm carving it. Let's do this. And she looked at me and she was like, "That's okay. I'm doing it anyway." And I was like, you fucking bitch. You're doing it. And she fucking just went right past me, and she fucking brushed me, pushed me. It was like that moment where I was like, everything was going super slow-mo because I was super stoned, and
you noticed everything.
I felt like I felt exactly how much skin touched me. I could probably calculate the surface area if I like meditated on it long enough. Yeah, like, she invaded my bubble, and there was like no need for that. Like, literally, she did that, and I looked to my right, and there's a clear walkway that she could have taken, but she saw me, she saw an obstacle, she had to play Tetris. I don't know what was like going on. She had some OCD complex.
Whatever. So, you brought us food?
Brought back food. Jesus Christ. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys have any Disney resort thing, like, you guys stay at any, like, hotel, and you're any resort that's, like, 2 buildings away from the, like, lobby, don't even bother bringing food back. Like, rent a wheelchair. Not only was everything cold by the time that I got back, like, I was like thinking to myself, I did morning yoga, and I was like, I should probably do, an arm routine, because today's arm day, and even though I'm at Disney, I should probably just do some push-ups or something just to stimulate myself. And I was coming back, and my arms were like on fire, carrying just that heavy tray that far. I was like, man, this is like an endurance arm day, if anything.
So sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
At least you got a good flex though working.
Yeah. And it pissed me off too. The night before, I forgot to mention, when we got back with the food, I was really looking forward to, we didn't bring back a soda for the food. And I was like, oh, it's fine. They have vending machines at the fucking hotel.
I felt so horrible that I didn't have change for you.
And I went up to the machine, I put in a $5, because soda is $3. And I'm like, okay, I'm desperate. You got me. You got me. You know, like, I'm here, I'm at Disney, I'm not gonna complain. Just take my $5, give me back $2. Would not take it. Like, I sat there for a couple minutes and I tried to just flatten it out as much as I could, get every corner, like, perfectly down, and it just would not take it.
And you know what's funny? Because, like, when that happened, I literally thought, oh, they have, like, a Chase vending machine, Chase ATM machine, or ATM. And I thought, oh, like, I could get a $5 bill, and maybe they'll give it to me in singles. And I'm like, no, they would never give me a $5 bill in singles. I don't even think they give you $5 out of an ATM. No. They don't. Yeah. So I was like, I don't even know how to help you.
Well, even then, I would have to walk to the ATM, which is at the fucking lobby, which is like, if I might as well just go to like, I don't even know.
But you couldn't buy anything there.
Yeah, it was closed, but by then I could barter with somebody and be like, hey, can you just like take this and give me change? I don't know. But fucking A, bro. That was something I was like, I can't even get something to drink, and I'm all the way across the fucking hotel. Fuck you guys, dude. You guys can't install like a vending machine with a little credit card slip. Like, what age do we live in that you guys can't provide change for $5?
Even when I go to work or anything like that, like, there's vending machines that accept credit cards. It's a common thing now.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
No, there's even at work, and this happened recently, that there are vending machines that you can access through apps, and you can actually, like, they advertise it now, that it's like, I see it, like, when I walk around, it literally says, like, get the app, get a free bag of chips, and it's literally like, if you download the app, you get like a free discounted, like, bag of chips, or you get like a free drink, depending on like what kind of vending machine it is. Like, this is like the future now, like apps. Yeah. If you were lucky to even get service in like the fucking like resort. I didn't have cell phone service the entire time we were at the resort.
Yeah,
like,
that was
our
pretty
room
crazy.
was so far out of the way of whatever tower there was that I didn't get any cell phone service. Zero.
Luckily, we had Wi-Fi. Yes. And even then, the Wi-Fi was spotty this time.
It was very spotty.
It kept dropping on me.
That was my only complaint about that whole resort, was that we had no cell phone service the entire time, and
the Wi-Fi was
so spotty. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that $5 bothered me. And it was crazy too, because I had the singles for it, and I used them to buy something at the food court. Just right before that.
Not even that, but like the day before when we went to the Wolfgang Puck, I left $3 for the guy as a tip, and I was like, $3. Oh my god,
it's haunting me.
It's haunting me so hard because I felt bad that the guy he asked, like, you know, he tried to like help us and whatever, you know, he did like the extent of bringing us our meals and things, you know. Since the United States sucks for those tips and things.
Well, I'm just like, man, I'll pick up my food at the counter. You know, like,
you don't have to bring it.
Why do we have to have this service? Like, don't even employ this guy. Like, don't even bother him with this shitty wage that forces him to have tips. Why don't you put him behind the counter cooking stuff so it cooks it faster and gets more people through the door? Or something. I don't know. Or cleaning the floors.
Okay, well, we lost our money.
Yeah, it's just me ranting about a little soda. If anything, that goes to show you the worst of the whole trip was, like, little shit like that. Just mismanagement. You know, that's the one thing that bothers me about life. Like, there is no place in society where you can get food past fucking midnight. Like, what age do we live in that we just cannot have 24-hour food places available?
Why don't we just have 24-hour everything? Like, I don't understand, like, why society has to, like, deal with, like, we have electricity.
We're dictated under this 9 to 5, like, workflow. Like, no, bro, maybe I need to stay up till, like, 3 in the morning and code something, and I want to have, like, a pizza. Like, I need to automatically plan for that and have it, like, in my fridge from, like, before, like, usually, like, 8 o'clock at night when the supermarket closes. Like, man, society. I fucking hate it. Like, it just makes me want to get into the food business and just open up 24-hour places everywhere. And make them all delivery. Like, 24-hour delivery. Like, that should be a standard.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
But that's it. I picked up breakfast, brought it back. We packed up the car and we bolted out. We actually got a little lost, I think, finding the gas station, but immediately were able to map it out on your phone. Got right to it. Like, literally, coming out of the hotel, we made a right, and we should have made a left, and it would have been right there. But we made a right and just went, like...
completely all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we did the gas station, and we left, and it was pretty good. Pretty good traffic. No big deal.
You had to get to your class by a certain time period, so it was like a fucking movie. We were just like racing the clock, trying to get there as fast as possible.
Yeah,
like,
but what I was gonna say was that I was worried about like going through the Osceola Parkway and like encountering people going to work. I was scared that there wasn't that much work traffic. But yeah, like I had to make it to a class, so I had to drive as soon as I fucking could, and we had like it was down to the wire, and I drove as fast as I could. I drove as fast as I could. And we did make pretty good time. We made it all the way, and I made it with like an hour to spare. Like less than an hour. I had like 30 minutes. I was like rushing out of the house
had toast in your mouth.
Well, like you made me lunch and stuff. I was really thankful about that. I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I'll take care of you.
Yeah. But that was like the end of our trip. It was so funny. Like, I was, like, literally sitting in my class, and I was like, wow, I was at Disney this morning, and now I'm, like, in class.
And radiating, just...
I was radiating, like, energy from, like, having driven and stuff like that, and I was like, I've been doing so much crazy stuff. I was really sad. I was like, I don't get to wear my magic band anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, taking it off is such a sad experience. But, yeah, that was the not-so-scary experience. It was very... Like, we actually didn't get that much done, I feel like. We got, like, 3 or 4 rides. Hour. Yeah, what happened was we just fumbled about trying to figure out the event. And,
because it wasn't clear that, like, you couldn't go shopping until 7.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And we just, like, wasted time finding Pete Warner and... Yeah. Like, all that stuff, we just wasted time. Like, I was really disappointed. I never bought my Tables in Wonderland card when I wanted to purchase that. And we didn't ride the People Mover, which was something we had talked about, and it's one of our favorite rides in the world. And we didn't ride the People Mover. We didn't get to go to the Tiki Room. I wanted to go to the Tiki Room and see the display.
Didn't even go get passed by Pirates. Pirates is, like, special during the Not-So-Scary Party, too.
Yes. So, like, there was a lot of stuff we just missed.
It just made me want to buy another ticket for the Not-So-Scary event.
And go back again.
Yeah, it was so terrible.
You can't, though. It's too much. But it was a pretty successful trip, though. I really enjoyed it, and I am glad that, like, it was really interesting because once we had come home and we started watching all of the, like, media people that we follow start covering it and, like, showing up, but they kept saying, like, oh, this was like an empty party. There was nobody there. And for me, I thought it was full.
Yeah, every time we were somewhere, I guess we were where everybody was. Because it was fucking full.
It was always
full. And if you look at most of the pictures I took, it looks full. And videos and stuff. It's crazy. And then you look at videos they took and it's empty. I'm like, what Twilight Zone parallel universe were you in?
Yeah. But it was really nice. Maybe lose my train of thought about that. Like, I just lost my train of thought. I'm so hungry. I lost my train of thought.
I'm so hungry.
What were we talking about?
The park and not getting to do everything.
Oh, not getting to do everything. I was really disappointed. But I would certainly do it again. I would do it again to invest in the fact that the park was empty. Like it was empty. I would go, like, the first day every year. Because if that can guarantee me that, like, I get 20-minute wait lines at, like, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and shit like that.
And then even better lines everywhere else, like walkthroughs.
Yeah. Literally, they were showing pictures of the Anna Elsa meet and greet at the Princess Hall. It was 10 minutes.
Like that is usually
that is the biggest sign in the
plus
world.
Hours. Yeah, that's something that
3+ hours. They cut it off at 7 hours.
Yeah,
they cut it off at 7 hours.
And then the what is it? The fast passes are booked up like months in advance. It intense, and it was just empty.
It was 10 minutes. Everybody was taking pictures of it because it was just unbelievable. But then again, I'm not a fan of Anna also, so it didn't mean anything to me. But I would definitely 100% say that is worth it if you want to go like at night at Disney and not worry about people. Yeah. It was just empty. And obviously, I mean, they kept saying it since before even the very first party happened, that the Halloween day was booked. It was like completely, all the tickets were sold out. Can you imagine how full that party is going to be? It's going to be intense as hell.
Yeah, as much as we're saying like the Not So Scary is a great time to like ride every ride, like that's because we went to an early one. Yeah.
We went to like basically the media day.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the other ones play out, how full they fucking are. It'll be fascinating to see. I'm just ready for the Christmas party already.
Are you going to go?
I don't know.
Because, I guess that's a good segue into the Ask Box. Because literally, when you took your hit, just a couple minutes ago, you opened the Ask Box, and that was really funny. One of the first things that popped up, like a new question. Did you post something that prompted that question?
Yeah, the Disney picture.
Which Disney picture?
The Sherlock pipe.
Oh, it posted, a little while ago.
A little while ago.
Like a long time ago. There we go.
This morning.
Oh, wow, you got a lot of notes. Yeah, you posted this morning at like 11 in the morning. Oh, I remember that. That was so nice.
So good.
Yeah. We had Burger King breakfast this morning. We treated ourselves. Okay. Back to the podcast. Somebody in Askbox, they first said, how often do you guys go to Walt Disney World? And this is something recently that happened where we just like caught the bug. And it's just terrible. We went once in December. We went to Magic Kingdom. We went again in February on Valentine's Day weekend. And on Valentine's Day, we went to, like, Downtown Disney. But the other 2 days, we went to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And then again, we went in May. And we went to Magic Kingdom and Epcot, I believe. And then in July, we went. And we went to just the Magic Kingdom, and it was full as fuck. And then we went now on Labor Day weekend for that Not So Scary Halloween party. And I think we might go to the Christmas party. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Someone asked me last trip when we went, because they were like an Orlando native and they wanted to know when we were coming back. And I was like, we're not coming back. That's it. Boom. Book's closed.
I got my paycheck on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? No, I got my paycheck on Wednesday, and I literally thought to myself, like, well, this costs like a whole trip to Disney.
You're just looking at it, and you're seeing like Disney tickets form.
I see Disney tickets in my hand, like instead of the
you look
paycheck.
at me, you see Duffy things form.
We need Christmas stuffy things.
Yeah.
So funny, but it was really funny because I had been going on these trips, and then my mother informed me. I recently talked to my mother, and she's always interested in hearing how I'm doing and stuff. And she said me and my her and my sister had gotten jealous that we had been going to Disney so much. So my family is actually planning on going to Disney on the Thanksgiving Day weekend. Sadly, you can't come with me because it's like a family thing, like a close family thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, you are my close family. You are my family. Mm-hmm. But it's like, we need to catch up because we don't see each other anymore and stuff. So it was like a catch-up thing. So it's going to be really interesting. We actually booked for the Artist Point, I believe it's called, at the Wilderness Lodge. And
interesting.
Exactly. I'm so excited to go. It's like I actually get to go to the resort. It was really funny. My mother actually wanted to stay there, which I was so surprised about because we've never stayed at a Valley Resort as a family. But I think now that because we're all adults, like even my sister's an adult now, that she can go and I guess get something a little nicer. And she's been doing that recently. And so we're going to stay somewhere. I don't know. We haven't figured out like a thing yet. But we haven't figured out a room. But we definitely got a reservation. So we have a reservation. So it's very exciting. And my mom has enlisted me to plan for her trip. I've been giving her all the tips. I gave her my guidebook. I gave her, to read.
Yeah, I was surprised you gave her the book.
I almost didn't want to give it. Yeah, the Bible. It's like a converting thing. Like, this is like, what is it when the people come to your house and then give you, like, a little pamphlet? Like, here, learn.
Disney.
Yeah. How long have we been?
2 hours, 10 minutes.
2 hours, 11 minutes. Good timing.
I just want to say that I'm doing some Disney designs soon. You're going to be seeing some... I want to be working more in the print form and sticker form. I'm definitely going to try to invest in that, so you guys will be seeing some more... Well, really not more, just now you will be seeing stickers from us. I'm trying to do like some of the basic designs that we've had before, like the WeedPornDaily logo, the medical marijuana like leaf logo, things like that. But I'm also interested in doing some new designs, and I posted them up, and they got like a lot of fucking notes, like over 400 notes in the first like night. I posted 2 illustrations I did of a stoned Goofy, and it's a series that I'm gonna do of just Disney characters that are just like minor alterations of their like actual art, so it looks as like real as possible. And I just throw like a joint in their mouth, or I put like a bong in their hand, and I try to keep it as stylistically as close to that Disney style as possible. So I'm looking to release something like that, maybe expand on that style, maybe, because I'm just really interested in that like accented line, the comic-esque thing. I'm just loving the graphical aspect of it. I love that I can just take the Goofy one that I made, and I took it and I put patterns on it and stuff, and I did a bunch of clipping mask things, and just because they are so graphical and vector based, they're very flexible in that nature to do different series and different runs and different things like that. So I'm very excited to get back into the graphics game. Definitely. So expect some new prints in the shop very soon. I'm going to be pimping that. And don't even worry, because you'll be seeing graphics. Because I'm going to be really stepping up the graphics game soon. Really getting lots more photography in. Lots more just typography and Photoshop work in to express sales and specials and things like that going on. Really trying to keep you guys up to date with the goings on of the website. But yeah, Disney stuff coming soon. We've got apparently a Disney trip again coming soon.
What? What?
I'll be posting the Disney video soon. I have the hour version. I don't think I'm going to release. I'm going to keep that one for myself, and I'm going to edit it down as much as I can these next couple of days. And then I have to finish editing the rest of the Disney photos of the actual Not So Scary event day. And I have to finish working on the WeedPornDaily website. That's looking so sexy. I'm so excited for that.
I'm so happy for it. Like, it coming out so good.
Yeah. I'm really excited for it. All that's basically left to do with it is minor tweaks to the design. And I want to incorporate all the articles and make sure that they look okay in the new styling. A lot of them are getting refreshing looks, so if you go back to some of the old articles, they'll look better, and they'll have different layouts and stuff. And I'm just really trying to work with the new design. I need to adapt the database to it as well. That's going to be like a day or two, and I want to maybe give the database a little overhaul. Again, well, I haven't overhauled the database in years.
Oh, really? Wait, yeah. What database are we talking about?
Strain database, yeah. I haven't touched it in a long time. I just haven't had time for it. But all of that is coming very soon. Make sure to check it out. I'm super stoked. I'm really excited for all of this, and I hope you guys really dig the new changes, and really I'm just hoping to see really just a surge of new sales from the fucking shop change. I just want to see people like explore the shop more and like find new products and understand the layout more, see out of stock, featured, on sale, things like that. Yeah. But thank you guys for tuning in.
I know it was a hell of a marathon. It was a marathon.
It's about as long as our Disney trip. You could probably play this on your way to Disney, and it's long enough for the trip. Or you could play it back to back with our last podcast, and it'd be enough. Get you pumped. I like glossed over that, sorry. Powerful Disney.
Hashtag powerful.
Thank you guys, as always, for listening. Thank you guys, especially for purchasing from the shop, because that keeps us alift and afloat. We actually just had to pay hosting bills the other day. That's why the website was a little up and down. I think they were like threatening us mafia style, like pulling the plugs and being like, "Yo, where's the money at?" And I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Check your fucking account." Yeah, what the shit? Jesus. So the website should be back up now, and it's thanks to you guys and all the purchases that you make. Because just a couple years ago, we were literally begging for donations to keep the site alive. And now you guys have supported the shop enough for us to create like an economy, or I don't know what the word would be, like a structure for us to actually fund ourselves. And I appreciate that. I truly do. And I appreciate what?
No, I was gonna say something, but that's okay.
I appreciate all you guys submitting, all you guys asking questions, everyone who likes, reblogs, just follows the blog. It amazes me to see the follower count go up every day. It amazes me just to see people like as much as they do and reblog as much as they do every day. It blows me away. Like, more so than sales, that like surprises me that we're still like a thing and people still go on the site and stuff, and it's like a ritual for some people. Blows me away. And as much as we talk about Pete Warner being a pseudo-celebrity, like, I'm slowly creeping to that status, and it's creeping me out. Yeah. And it's all thanks to you guys. I really appreciate it. So make sure to blow one for me. Blow a fatty. Like, one thicker than one of your fingers, at least. And then sit back. I didn't necessarily say it had to be long. It could be a short one. You know, you could roll like a Cuban one. You know, it's like half length but extra thick. You know, some girth going on. Get an extra fat cherry for some extra thick smoke. Make sure you get those really big tokes in so that they really just take you away and just draw you away from your sensory experience and just make you almost numb. That point where you touch your nose and you're like, am I even breathing right now? I'm that high. That point where you're sitting there and you don't even know if you breathed or if you just didn't breathe, or if you've like been holding your breath for a little while, or if you should start paying attention to your breath, or, well, I'm focusing so much. Get that fucking high and then just kick back for a minute. Maybe sit in like a comfortable chair, maybe put a blanket over yourself, and then maybe even munch on some food. Maybe you want to prep yourself. I don't know. Some people want to go into this experience with an empty stomach, but some people like to hit it with maybe some BBQ wings, maybe some McDonald's, maybe some pizza. But settle into your little comfortable spot and make sure you're extra stoned. Maybe line yourself up with some extra weed if you're not sure that you're going to be staying that consistently lifted. You know how it is, bro. So line yourself up, comfortable, lay back, and just close your eyes and pay attention to the inside of your eyelids and watch the free show that smoking has granted you. And just experience the close-eye visuals granted by cannabis, as well as the journey that it takes you on, because cannabis is a hand-holding experience where the high guides you and the ganja takes your hand and it shows you what's wrong in your life, what's right in your life, and how you can improve and the best version of yourself. And it shows it to you and it gives you the option of being it. So make sure to pay close attention to what it tells you, because it is the greatest advice that you can listen to besides maybe yourself. And make sure to stay regular, Super Stoners. I'm with Mrs. WeedPornDaily. This is Grouch.
Signing off.
Yeah. Stay regular.